Right,
Well,
come
that's
on.
a welcome and a half back, isn't it?
You're back.
Hi, I'm back.
You have to do an inspection because you're back.
There's no inspections going on here, kid. I'll tell you that right now. Right, welcome to live shopping here at Highlight Crafts. It's Monday, it's 11 o'clock, which means it's 2 hours with our David and Makeover Monday.
Look who's back though. Mel's back.
It's back.
She's back in the building.
I am, yes, ready for festival this weekend.
Mm.
Right, so let me talk to you about who's on cameras today. Our Amanda's on with her bright, jangly turquoise glasses.
Turquoise, yes.
Turquoise glasses today. She's got new glasses. We've got our Sophie on production.
Hi, Sophie. There she is.
There she is. And we've got David. Right, so first of all, where can you watch us and how can you shop? So you can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and on our website, which is highlightcrafts.com. If you are shopping with us on either of our social pages, then all you're going to do is type shop and then the code that we're going to give you for the relevant product, and that will pop it into a basket for you. Then you'll get a message from us to say thank you very much for your order, and within that message there will be a link. Click that link when you're ready to check out. Remember, the sooner you check out, the sooner we can pick and pack those orders and get them shipped out to you. So cut-off line's normally about 1 o'clock in the afternoon-ish.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do try and get it out next day for you as well. So super, super easy to shop with us. If you're going to shop with us on highlightcrafts.com, which is our website, all you're going to do is type in, well, you can use the shop code if you want to, but I find it easier just to add to basket because it's all the products are on the side of the screen. Going to pop all those goodies into a red shopping bag for you, which will appear at the top of your screen. And when you're ready to check out, click that red shopping basket and it'll take you through checkout. Please remember though to log in first, because then you get your extra club discounts, your loyalty points, and on a basket spend over £35 you get free postage, which is amazing. Right, what have you been launching while I haven't been here?
Honestly, Mel, we've had new Cadence paints, we've had new glass paints, new ink sprays. I know it's quite rude actually, but it's just
disgraceful.
Do you know, I think it was Stephanie said to me, she went, do you know, because Mel's off for a week, should we launch loads of new Cadence?
Yeah, but yeah. Do you know what? That won't surprise me either. You're a little troublemaker, you, aren't you? Hey?
Honestly, just say what you see.
Okay. Right. Talk to me about these glass paints then. So first one is Shop Jewel. Now these are different glass paints, right? How are they different? What do I need them for?
So with the Dora family of mediums, of course, they go into waxes. You've of course got your metallic paints, you've got your standard paints and your hybrid paints with Dora. Now all of those paints do different things. Of course, you can get a multi-surface, which will cover, of course, fabric, wood, metal, those sort of things. But having a paint that's specifically designed for a surface to give a different curing process will give you the most optimum finish and, of course, the best resilience. Now, these here are, of course, the Mica Metal Flake Dora paints, so the most reflective, flashy set of colours from Cadence themselves. But the beauty of this is you don't have to wait 21 days. With usually metallic paints, you can't oven cure them because it will tarnish the flakes inside there and the colour will yellow. Anything over 20 minutes, usually the colour will start to fade and you'll pretty much get a muddy tone afterwards. It just won't be as polished.
Okay.
With these, you can paint it onto the surface, wait 24 hours, pop them into the oven at 180 degrees for 20 minutes. It's cured instantly, which means you don't have to wait almost a month for them to dry. You get a broader range of colours to play with, all fully intermixable. You're going to get inside there your 60ml bottle, well, just under 60ml bottles inside here, but even better, you're getting them in sets of 4 for the best price ever.
Wow. And this is a brand new product from
Brand new, launched only 7 days ago. This is a brand new one. Of course, we've never had it here at Highlight Crafts before in this colour range because we did previously share with you, I think, 3 sets of 3 of the Dora glass paints in December last year, and they went instantly. So if you've got some at home, don't worry, you're not restocking the same, you're getting brand new.
Fantastic. Right, so Shop Jewel is going to get you the anthracite, the emerald green. That's a proper wicked colour, that, isn't it?
It's absolutely gorgeous.
That's a proper wicked colour. I'm going to open it. That's really bad, isn't it? But I am going to open it.
The colours inside here as well are incredibly vibrant. All of the bottles are completely see-through and clear. I'm going to go and grab mine.
Look at that. You. Look how amazing that is.
It is stunning. It's one of my favourite ones out of the whole. Quite literally wicked. Oh, it is.
It is literally.
So you can see inside here. Look at that colour. Is that not just absolutely beautiful?
Could you ever put gloves on or I'd be calling you out for barrel afternoon?
Could you imagine?
God, yeah.
So,
Imagine you walked in and your face is just green.
absolutely coated in glass paint. But this is a really superior finish. Now, of course, you can use a palette knife, you can use a brush, you can use a sponge. If you stipple with it, all of the colour will come to the surface. Yep. It's incredibly durable, flake and scratch resistant too.
Okay, so you've then got your peridot green and your bright fuchsia. So that's Shop Jewel. Your next one is Shop Rich, which is
your amethyst.
Your amethyst.
Glorious inside there. Then you've got your cyclamen,
your sax blue, and your diamond. So that's Shop Rich. Then you've got Shop Lavish, which are these down here, which is lovely. The dark turquoise, is it? Your chestnut, that's a lovely colour. Then you've got, that's white because you've got that lovely pink in.
That's the one.
That's the one. And then you've also got black in there, that's Shop Rich. And then I think the bottom one's probably my favourite, the polish. I like that. I think it's very, very pretty. So you've got champagne, you've got jade, you've got aqua, and you've got antique lilac in that one. And that is Shop Polish, which is fabulous.
They are tremendous paints. Now, of course, all fully intermixable with one another, so you can blend them, you can create tricolours, you can do your mid-range tones. Of course, we've put them in sets of 4, so they're all complementary either side of that. So in their bundle themselves, they work exquisitely. And of course, if you're going to go into a glassware, just make sure it is one that can go in the oven. If it can't go in the oven, that is fine, though. Cadence do still stand by their primary rule. Of course, if you do leave it for 21 days, it will fully cure. And we're going to go into more detail at demo as well, but when you are going onto glass, just make sure you thoroughly wash it first. We've got plenty of glass on the show, and we'll tell you how to treat it and how to prime it and get it ready for your paints. Just make sure to get rid of any dust or grease with an alcohol rub or a sugar soap or a washing up liquid.
Is the glass one that you've just done in your club?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
So if you want to join the Cadence Club, it's Shop Cadence. It's $29.99. That will get you 3 months worth of lessons, 1 a month, plus access to a unique Facebook group, which you'll be invited into, which is fabulous, and a unique email address. That means that you can contact us and ask any questions, so we can collate them throughout the month and then bespoke the classes to you, which is super exciting. Right, a couple of questions coming in. First of all, can you use these paints with the crackle glaze? Asked Nikki.
Absolutely, you can do, Nikki. So if you would use your crackle glaze, it depends on what surface you're going onto, but if you've crackled onto glassware already, then you want all of the crackled hairlines to be metallic, just paint this on the back of the crackle and it will come through as the final result. If you're using a crackle medium though, just make sure not to oven cure it, because that isn't an oven curable process. Just make sure to leave it 21 days.
Everyone's asking how the skip went. Skip went great till Mick is back on Wednesday. Well, he always has a bad back, but it just went completely.
You get rid of lots of stuff then?
Got rid of loads of stuff.
Lots of bits and bobs. Does it feel like you've got lots more space, or is there still plenty more?
No, I needed it to come back like half a dozen times.
Seriously?
But we couldn't because the back went. Anyway,
wow.
It is what it is. Morning, David Melnatine. Question: what can you use to seal the resin cast? Also, can you use mica powder with this, and how? Thank you, says Trudy.
Hi Trudy. Okay, so when you're working with resin cast, seal it with either a matte varnish or your aquastone varnish. It wants 2 coats though, because resin cast is porous, so your first coat will soak in, your second one will lock it in place. You can use mica powders with that process too. With your actual metallic paint though, I wouldn't add any additional elements to them, especially if you do want to oven cure it, because then you could potentially break down the compound or the composition of the paint through that curing process. So if you're going to thin it down, or of course you're going to dilute it or make it into a glaze or anything like that with your aquastones, just rest assured that you're going to probably need to give it a final glazing coat, because you may have broken down some of the resilience that it can stand against.
Perfect. There you go. Right, so let's just recap. Shop Jewel will get you those 4.
Yep.
Shop Rich gets you the next 4. Shop Lavish gets you these. And Shop Polish gets you the bottom
beautiful,
row.
Great for spring. Imagine all your spring table glassware.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Absolutely stunning. Oh.
Right, next.
Absolutely
Back in
stunning.
sync like that. Right, next, ink sprays. Now, I've seen these knocking around for quite a long time, but I haven't seen any new colours recently. I thought, oh, David, that's a bit lush.
Look at this.
Oh, is that mixing it with your aquastone?
Yeah, so I literally spritz the day life out of this. The day life? What's the day life? Spritz the daylight, the life? Did it in a day.
Maybe you're a vampire and you just come out with that?
This is true. This could be true. Anyway, so what's happening?
You're off next week. You're all right.
I know.
You've
It's
got
fine.
1 more week.
Put
I was the week.
Put my brain in a box to recharge.
Yeah, that's exactly what I had to do. Exactly that.
Your Mixed Media ink sprays, the first time here at Highlight Crafts was sharing with you the collection itself in its entirety, so new colourways for you to play with. These are incredible. They're all water-based, incredibly high pigmented though, so do wear gloves when you're working with them, because I was like a smurf for the rest of the week. if there was a mark on the wall, you knew it was me. Because everywhere.
Oh, no.
But also, as well, these are incredibly intense. So you need such a small amount to be able to create a very strong finish. You can mix them as well with your aquastones and make glass paint out of them.
Yep.
So like clear glazes, stipple with them. Of course, spritz them through stencils, great for backgrounds, journaling, mark making, jelly plates, the lot.
I love these. I think they're fabulous. And there's no shimmer or shine in these, is
No,
there?
these are purposefully just the flat coat ink, which meant that the
Perfect.
micas we did launch with them last week, you can mix into the bottles or make your own separate portion of your mica mists.
Yes, absolutely. So make your own, which is great. So Shop Summer is going to get you the light blue. Love that colour.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
The light purple, the magenta and the yellow, which is stunning.
Lovely bright set.
Is going to get you the dark brown, the orange, the fuchsia and the purple, so the deep, dark, rich chocolate wrapper purple. Then we've also got primary, so you've got your black, your white, your blue and your red in there as well. And then also at the bottom we've got brights, which will give you the light green, the light fuchsia, the dark orange and the green. So all four separates, they're all $12.99, which is a cracking price.
I know, it's amazing. $12.99 for a brand new set of Cadence.
£3.25.
I know, it's bonkers.
That's
Don't
mad.
ask me how we've done that.
No,
I don't know.
I don't care. I just like the price.
Me too.
So, summer, earth, primary, bright. Okay?
Absolutely. As well, I don't know
Love
if you've ever
these.
noticed, on all of your Cadence
Love that
products,
on
majority of them for that reason as well, you'll find a QR code on the back of there. So always feel free to give this a scan, of course, with the camera on your smartphone, and it will take you right to the directory of Cadence and their colour range, and also additional information that may not be covered on the label for you, just to give you a few hints and tips. But also as well, join us for the shows, that's where you learn most about it.
So is the only difference here the aquastone from
Absolutely.
that to that? Look how
Yeah.
fabulous that is. So it
Yeah.
looks like ink sprays there,
It
doesn't
does. It really does. And then I wanted to create
when
that
you
sort of
turn it
glazed
round,
terracotta.
Look at that.
Wonderful,
Isn't that
right?
magnificent? And this was just like a white
Yeah, it's porcelain.
white porcelain.
Yeah, it works really well on porous
Fabulous.
surfaces. So if you're going to go onto watercolour
that.
card, it travels beautifully. If you can use it on a slick surface like glassware, it will of course repel from the surface. Now, of course, you can reactivate it at any point in its life. With this spritzed onto here, of course, this being unglazed, tomorrow, 2 years' time, or 10 years' time, I could spritz with water and reactivate that, okay?
Wow.
It would stay at a state of course stability, but you could reopen it. So it's entirely up to you in which way you want to control the ink sprays. If you want them to be locked in and sealed, glaze it. And I absolutely love the
that.
sort of interference with the glaze and the
yeah,
ink. I think
it's
it
really
creates a
pretty.
wonderful finish. It kind of reminds me of like the pottery scene like Santorini or Portugal or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's really interesting, but it was so simple. I literally just spritzed and watched it travel.
Love that. Right, so those are your sprays now then. This is something a bit new.
Brand
What's
new.
this? Oh, Stephanie's been painting with it already. Look how beautiful
isn't it
these
gorgeous?
are. These colours are super, aren't
Proper
they?
springtime Easter,
How
these ones.
beautiful are these?
Really fresh set. Now, these are brand new. These launched only on Saturdays. So if you didn't join us for Saturday's show with Stephanie, I mean, look at that.
How beautiful is
It's
that?
so vintage.
That is lovely.
I know, it's stunning.
Reminds me of something my grandma would have had in the corner of a hanky.
Yeah.
Bless her.
It is exquisite
Yeah,
paint,
that's
this one.
fabulous.
It's
Love
a
that.
brand new set. You're getting 10 bottles in total here. Now, these are true pastel tones that you're getting inside here. They are so soft. They're so gentle. Also full pigmentation as well. So we'll do block coverage as well as blending. So
Right.
if you're going to do your decorative painting on the journey with Stephanie, absolutely, if you're part of the painting club, you're going to want these. But also at the same time for base coating, it's an all-round multi-surface paint. It's not the same as hybrid, okay? So if you do want to have everlasting finishes, it will require a gloss of a matte, but it's at a great price for everybody wanting to get involved with a paint from Cadence that features all brand new colour tones.
Okay, so this doesn't go on any surface unless you seal it.
Yes, if you're going to go on fabric, it's decorative. If you're
Right.
going to go on glassware, that's fine as an ornamental piece or decorative finish. But if you want to, of course, mean that it's washable, that you could put it through, of course, outdoor weather conditions, just give it a coat of aquastone and still give it that 21-day process. But it is it's a really cost-effective paint as well for everybody because you're getting 10 shades all brand new in there.
are.
But again, the paint itself, you can use it neat directly from the bottle. But I love this one because it has an open longer time.
Right.
Okay, so it doesn't dry as
Okay.
quick. Of course, when you're working with hybrid, like on a stencil brush or a sponge, and if you're used to hybrid, you'll know how quickly that can dry. Sometimes it's harder to push and move.
Yeah.
So if you're wanting to do your backgrounds on your jelly plates, to create printmaking with, to roll it onto your stamps, it washes off incredibly easy. So your stencils, aren't stained.
Wow.
All that sort of stuff. It's key features of cleanups. It's great for the kids as well, especially over the Easter holidays if you're going to be crafting with them.
Yeah, absolutely. So Shop Pastel is going to get you all 10 colours in the lovely box that comes with it, which is fabulous, for $39.99.
Wow.
I know, it's cracking. $3.99 a bottle for Cadence.
It's brilliant.
Pastel green. These are all brand new colours too, right?
They are indeed a full collection together.
Pastel green, light green. You've then got your pastel pink, your baby pink, which is a beautiful, soft, delicate colour. Lilac, light lilac. And then you've got your mauve. And then you've got your sunflower. You've got light pinkish orange. I'm not quite sure about that.
Light pinkish
light
orange.
pinkish orange, baby blue, and vanilla yellow. So all 10 of them for $39.99. This is beautiful painted.
It is. It's, do you know what? If you're wanting that vintage,
stunningly beautiful, isn't it?
Of course, if you want to do, if you think Easter, absolutely, they're the first things that come to mind in springtime. But then if you want to actually take a look at some real vintage artwork and replicate that, or of course just have a gentle, subtle touch of paint that doesn't overpower a project, these are the tones to work with.
It's very subtle, isn't it?
I mean, you can see how it almost fades into the background in areas where Stephanie has mixed it with white.
Yeah, it's really, really pretty.
Oh,
it gives you a completely different look as well, doesn't it?
It does, of course. With hybrids, they are incredible. They're the hero product from Cadence. They're incredibly intense, incredibly durable, and insanely pigmented. With this, you have all qualities from Cadence, but just in a very soft touch.
Yeah.
It's a very gentle paint to work with. And again, I think you'll find that even if you don't want to watercolour with this, so dilute it down, thin it with your extenders, put it into your spritz bottles as well, you can get a lovely soft finish.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes you've just got to invest in the bottles of the colour that you want, not mix your own.
Exactly.
Because you'll never get the same one again. So if you're doing a big piece of furniture...
Yeah.
It's
great for furniture.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, brilliant. Right, next, we've got 10 of these little glass place markers, which I think are fabulous, aren't they?
They're brilliant, yeah.
If you've got anyone coming around for Easter, these are just going to be absolutely super. Shop Place, you're going to get 10 of them, £1.79 each. $17.99 before your club discount. They all come nicely packaged for you as well, so you've got all your pieces of glass, they're all finished on the edges, which is great, and 10 of them for $17.99.
Oh,
Are you
it's
having
fab.
people round at Easter?
We're going away.
Oh, look, you're going away.
Sorry, we're going away. Got a little. Me and Luke are just having a little trip.
Nice.
Little trip. But we usually have people around at Easter, and we always try and have family around for meals and things. And I do like a bit of table dressing.
Yep.
I like a little bit of zhuzh. And these are fab for stuff like that. I also think they'd be great, even with your dies or your vinyl, to do some little sticker plates on there. If you've got baby showers, weddings, birthdays, events like that, they would be brilliant for table centerpieces. Also, if you're on your rice paper journey with the Cadence Club, these would be wonderful to print your rice papers of photographs of family, loved friends and pets, all that sort of stuff. And just have, bless you.
Thank you.
Also, what looks really cute, paint them with your glass paints, a stencil onto them, have a tea light stood behind them, and you create your own little stained glass window. It's illuminated from the front. They look beautiful on a windowsill, especially if you're going to put your glass paints on them and let the sun shine through. They look great.
Julie says, I have to watch your candle show.
You've seen my floppy candle, haven't you?
I have seen your floppy candle, yes,
I've hidden it in this studio. I'm not going to tell you where.
Hidden it in the studio.
It's buried.
Oh, is it? Oh,
well, it's not actually. It's in something purple. So we'll come to that later on. That's what everyone's got to put in the comments. Where is it hidden? Let Fel mind it. Let Fel mind it. Let Mel find it.
Oh dear.
Look,
You definitely need a week off. I don't know whether that's a week off or a week off. One or the other.
I need a week off.
A week off. That's really bad, David. So good I wasn't doing that show. Isn't it? Oh my goodness.
I don't know what would have happened.
Well, I do.
I think it would have
wouldn't have
been
been here
both in the car park.
That's brilliant. Right, Shop Place gets you 10 of those for $17.99. I wish I'd seen your face when you took that out of the mould.
It was the fact that I didn't tell anybody about it and went into the studio and just got it out in front of Andrew and he was doing this.
See, I'll leave him on his own for a week, I tell you. Because we don't have an HR department, isn't it?
Ethan doesn't talk really about work at home.
Oh, this is our Amanda now.
So Ethan doesn't talk about work generally at home. But he was on cameras for that show and he was dying and laughing. And the first thing he came home, he was on again at 6 o'clock, and we went shopping, and he had to have the phone on in the shop just to watch David do that show. And when we got home, he ran in and he says, Cameron, you need to see this. And they were both absolutely killing themselves.
What day was it?
I think it was Monday. Was it Monday? No, it was Thursday. It was Thursday, candle making Thursday.
Makeover Thursday, I'll have a look at that. Yeah. Right, next, shop dish. We've got 2 of these for you. 33.5 centimetres by 17 centimetres, $9.99 for 2.
I know, it's ridiculous. But absolutely bonkers price for these 2. And again, they're our largest glass surface that we share with you here on our shows. These, of course, have all their finished corners and edges to them. They're a wonderful beveled shape as well, so you've got that ever so slight domed round back to them as well, which looks great with your mirror sprays, your stencil, with your glass paints. As well, if you have joined the Cadence Club, you most definitely need these, because within the first class, it's called First Glass Techniques, where these are heavily featured within the process of how to work with them, how to apply different mediums onto them, even ones that weren't necessarily designed for glass. We show you how to put them on glass. Okay, so there's loads of things you need them for, and definitely for your glass paints, you're going to want them.
Okay, so Shop Dish, it's going to get you 2 of those. Shop Cadence will get you part of that club, which has already launched.
It has indeed, yes, it's already launched. Yeah, we've got loads of reviews as well coming in. A lot of people have already done their first projects.
Oh, excellent.
I know.
Look at that, how fabulous.
Yeah.
Right, next, Shop Candle. I love these.
Oh, they're great.
Love these. 2 of them, so you get the large one and the medium one. £7.98, 7.5 centimetres by 10 centimetres. This is lovely.
Yeah, so I did this on that candle making show, and what I did was I used the clear candle wax to actually set flowers into around the sides, and then I just dropped this one into the middle and then turned that one into the candle, because obviously you could do both. But these look brilliant, of course, with your mirror spray, with your glass paints, with your foiling on as well. A great opportunity for you to try some interior glassware with your spring tones, which would look great, but again, really inexpensive. They're, of course, heat-proof as well, so you can pop these through the oven if you're doing your curing processes with your candle paints, all sorts of stuff.
Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Shop Candle, 2 of them for £7.98. Right, I'm definitely going to go to this because there's £10 off this.
I know, right?
Shop Mirror, $19.99. You've got a £10 saving, and this is a 150ml can. This is UK only. Just to show you as well, it's got the correct certification on the label as well, which is really, really important. You need to be looking for this when you're buying things like this, just so that you know that it's all been tested to within an inch of its life, and you've got the right certification, which is fab. Shop Mirror. I mean, it's just one of the most amazing products you'll ever see, isn't it, really?
It is, absolutely. It's bonkers. And, of course, with the Cadence Mirror Spray, it transforms any glassware into an instant mirror. We used to actually share this with you in a glass bottle.
We did.
And that glass bottle itself, I think, was around about 15 ml or something like that. This actually has a distribution of 5 of those in this can.
Right.
It's got 5 of those in this can. They reformulated it. Of course, that bottle used to be around about £12, something like that. So essentially, you'd be paying more than 50 quid.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, and they're getting it today for $19.99.
$19.99.
You can do loads of effects with it as well, and in the Cadence Club we talk even more about this, how you can put white vinegar on it, strip it back, do mottled effects. It's great for inside and outside. It's fully weatherproof as well, so you can do glass ornaments for the garden with it. But once you try it, you'll never go back. It's just
absolutely.
amazing.
And I think that, with either those 2 or that, would be fabulous.
Yes.
This, if you want to try different techniques.
Yeah, we'll do some of those during the show.
Because that'll be really, really cool with that, with the mirror spray. Shop Mirror, $19.99. You've got a £10 saving. Right, let's do the glue first, and then I think we're going to a demo, and then we'll do the stencils, then we'll go into a demo. Right, so next, Shop Glue gets you the 90ml matte decoupage glue for $5.99. What do I need this for, David?
Okay, so your matte decoupage glue, it's an incredible carrier for mica powders, your ink sprays as well if you want to make a tinted adhesive, but also this is your all-round interiors adhesive for your rice papers, your napkins and your tissue papers. It dries completely matte and fully transparent as well, so it's not visible on a surface where you may have gone over the edges, making it a very forgiving adhesive to work with. It dries very quickly in just under 15 minutes at room temperature, and it takes well to heat drying processes, so use it with a hairdryer. If you've gone onto things like your MDF cabinets, like your trinket furniture that we shared with you a couple of weekends ago, as well onto standard furniture, it also will adhere your rice papers to glassware for interior use and decorative finishes, but it's one of the Cadence's staples within their collection.
Absolutely. Right, let's jump back to these stencils, and then we'll go into a demo, I think.
Okay.
Right, so backgrounds, first of all.
Oh,
so
look
this
at
is
these.
shop background. You're getting It says 3 background stencils, but you get 6 background stencils.
I think it's set 3.
Ah,
Set
set
three,
3.
okay.
Yes. And you're getting 6 in
You get
total.
6 in total for $19.99.
They're bonkers, I
That's
know.
good.
Really good prices on these ones. Of course, just about A5 in size. You've got texture, you've got pattern. And that's beautiful, that one, isn't it?
I love it.
I love this one here with
Yeah,
all
I
of the
do
script,
too.
just to put a bit of ink through on a
Yeah.
background. Also, something really interesting, I do not have a stencil like this at
I
all.
like that, because you could use it for Christmas as baubles.
Christmas.
Couldn't you?
Definitely. Mirror spray on glassware through that would
Wow.
look so cool. Also, the shabby chic cobweb that we've got there, like the crackle effect,
Yeah, lovely.
is nice. I know, it's
That's
great.
super special.
That with your metallics onto glassware is going to look
Yeah.
crazy.
Absolutely bonkers. Love that. Right, Shop Background gets you all of those. Shop Birds gets you the following 6, and we've just stuck them on black for you so that you can see exactly what you're getting. These are fab. Now, these will never be SVG files. They're designed out of house. They're not designed in-house. So we buy these in. So they won't become, they're not part of our designs that we can convert to SVG files. But at that price, Shop Birds, is
Look at
that
all of them.
$34.99
For all of those.
for all of them? Wow,
Absolutely.
That's
You've got
Okay.
all 6 of those inside there. And what I love about this set of stencils is they all have a base line to them as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're great, of course, for going onto your furniture, onto your glassware. They're great as a border.
Yes.
Okay, so when you're actually creating a design, if you're just wanting that finalised bottom layer, or you're just going to blend through the bottom edge of a glass plate or a vase, or even if you're doing cards as well, you've got a design already created.
They'd be nice with your etching spray as
Yes,
well, wouldn't
they
they? Across
would.
the bottom of a mirror. Yeah,
They
they'd
would
be
look
lovely.
great.
Or if you like your inky backgrounds and you're getting your sprays today and all that kind of stuff, these just with black ink through or black hybrid acrylic would look amazing.
Absolutely.
Right, Shop Floral next is going to get you these. I love these. I think these are my favourite.
Do you know what?
I don't know, I like these too.
I know,
not
it's really
fair.
tricky, and there's not a lot of them either, because Stephanie at the weekend was sharing with you the fabulous pastel paints with the stencils,
Nice.
and everyone was saying, where are the stencils? We've got them back in stock today for you.
Oh, perfect.
Yes,
There we
so
go.
look at the sunflower and that wonderful peony and that chrysanthemum on there. It is gorgeous.
That's brilliant.
The wreath.
That's going to become a base
Well,
for all year round, isn't it?
you can build it up with ease.
Easter. Yes,
Christmas,
you can. Yeah,
the
it
lot.
doesn't have to be Christmas, does it?
And then you've
I
got
love
those
those.
foil pen through those.
Yeah, those doodle
The channel
flowers
is the
are
same
awesome.
width, which is great.
Yeah, they're fab.
Aren't they stunning?
Yeah, really
So much
nice.
variety. I love as well that you've got almost silhouette, you've got detail in there, and then you also have your smaller elements that you can build up, and then you've got your foiled elements too.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Love those. Right, so that one is Shop Floral. Next one is Shop Borders. This is $24.99 for all of these 6.
All 6 borders. Look at the size of these.
They're
now,
stunning,
if
aren't
you
they?
put, of course, you repeatables, so you
Yeah,
can do
yeah.
seamless design with them. I love these on glassware. I've been using them so much recently. You saw me with the metallic paints, misting through them with the ink sprays, the lot. Again, just to get a fine trim around something, they look exquisite.
They are beautiful, aren't they? They're really, really pretty.
They're about 12 inches as well by about 6, so you can do 12 by 12 if you're going to repeat your pattern.
Absolutely.
And I love the one with the rose at the bottom because it's very unique to the rest.
It's very pretty. Right, so they're Shop Borders, $24.99. Next one is Shop Crossover. These, I love these. You see, I like half medallions because you can make a full one, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
These
Why
are
pay
great.
for twice the size when you can
Right.
do that?
Love that. Aren't these just special? I don't even know which is my favourite. I like them all.
It's too hard to pick, but I'm going to tell
Love
you now that this one here looks glorious. Go through with your metal leaf mixing on, your foil leaf afterwards. It's crazy.
Wow. Okay. Shop Crossover, $24.99. And then if you need any dust sheets,
I do at the minute,
well,
especially
you
at home
always
and
need
here.
dust sheets. Now, these are different.
Yeah, so you're going to get in there. You get 2 packs in total, and each one of them you get 2, so you get 4 dust sheets
You do.
altogether.
2.6 by 1.5 metres. They're just on your desk.
Yeah, I just cut
right?
them up into different sizes for my desks.
Yeah, that's perfect. Love that.
It means I stay out of trouble
That's
for now.
the funniest thing you've ever said. Shop Dust, $8.99. Right, chick, shall we go and do a demo?
Yeah, should we have a look at some
And then
glass
we'll come
paints
back.
first?
Yes, let's do that, and then we'll come back.
Okie dokie.
Right. Is the mirror spray food safe? Could you use it on the inside of a fruit bowl, or would you have to use it on the outside? And if so, would you then use glass paints over the top or hybrid? That's Tracy.
Okay, so great question. Mirror spray, if you're going to put it onto any surface that's going to come in contact with food, you're going to want to seal the interior, okay? So although it is permanent, if you've got a fruit bowl where you're going to spray on the inside, so the mirror is all on the external bit of it, on that inside bit, make sure to aquastone it or use a solvent-based varnish, okay? Solvent-based varnish you can get in spray form as a lacquer, like a gloss. That will give you ultimate protection and a permanent finish. Aquastone is great, it's water-based, but of course it's entirely up to you what process you want to go for, but Aquastone is sold out at the moment.
Okay.
Because you did buy one, get one free last week.
Oh, wow.
I know. Everybody bought one, I think, that knows that we exist.
I'm not surprised.
So basically, yeah, you absolutely can use it for that. Just make sure to seal it in.
Yeah, absolutely. And quick question from Jonathan. Do you think you could use the Cadence wood burning gel on leather? I see it says it could be used on denim.
On denim, it will give you like a deeper, darker effect. With fabrics, just be very cautious because it does have to get to a very high temperature to work, and you do then at risk of just burning the fabric. With leather, I wouldn't suggest it at all. You'll be exposing it to extremes of heat. I would only really suggest myself using it onto wooden surfaces that have no gloss or any wax on them.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, Chick, where are we going to start?
Okay, so I'm going to grab some paints.
Sophie, what's the code for win? For spin the wheel, please.
Win.
Right, type win into the comments
Win in.
now, and then you'll be in a chance to win. And 10% of our mirror spray with £10 off is now allocated.
Oh,
I'm not surprised.
me three.
£19.99 gets you a 150ml bottle, UK only because it's an aerosol. Cracking product. But honestly, if you're going to play with it for the first time, or you just want to play around with different things, get those little place settings as well, because they'll be great. Just those little pieces of glass to play around with. You could have a whole technique shelf going on, couldn't you?
You could indeed. Sophie, would you be alright to turn our fan down just a little bit, because we've got it on and the fan is blowing everywhere, so it's causing a right draft like that. Right, okay, so what I've done is I popped one of our border stencils down onto the back of our glass plate. So again, those glass plates are really important for this process. I've gone on with one of our border stencils and I've spritzed through, thank you Sophie, with our mirror spray. Okay, so I've gone through a stencil this time. I've not gone neat onto the glassware. I'm not going to spritz it during our studio at the moment because of course we're all in here and I just want to make sure you can see the final result. If you are using it at home, just make sure to either do it in a very well ventilated area or outside in the garden.
Yeah, do it outside.
Do it when it's not windy, outside in the
Absolutely.
garden, because you don't want any mirror sprayed snails, because there's a few that went past our garden. They look so jazzy now.
Love that.
So once you've gone onto here, of course, take my stencil away.
Wow.
Use your stencil spray as well. You're going to get your mirror spray, but just in. It's gorgeous. So, of course, you can create full coat coverage with it, which is going to give you an incredible mirrored finish. But if you're just going to go into detailed accents, it is unbelievable. Now, we're going to do some glass painting on here in a few moments, but just while this mirror spray fully dries, okay, I'm going to let it do its thing. I'm going to come in with a decorative piece of glass as well.
Lovely.
Okay, so.
Charity shop again.
Charity shop finds, all sorts of stuff. Listen to this.
Lovely,
Look at that. In fact, actually, I'm going to go with this one. It's lovely. So I'm going to go in with these because with your Dora glass paints, they are completely food safe. So if you're going to use them on the interior or the outside, gives you an incredible result. For anything that's going to be containing alcohol, though, always make sure it's on the exterior.
So tell me what the difference is again between these and the other glass paints that we do. Please.
Okay, so these are the only glass ones that we do at the moment. Oh no, the other ones are our opaques. So we have got our Dora, these are our Dora metallics, so they're the most flashy Dora paints. So if you've got Dora paints in your home, on your shelf from Cadence, and you're thinking, well, what makes these different from the ones I already have? Why do I need these? These are the key factors. Your standard Dora metallics, of course, are multi-surface. So they're an everyday craft paint. These are designed specifically for glassware and can withstand heat. Okay, so they're an oven curing paint, which makes them entirely different. You'll feel the texture's different. It doesn't have an odour to it, but the pigmentation is incredibly strong, but it bonds onto the surface and it cures with heat. You can still, of course, allow 21 days, because I wouldn't put crystal in the oven. Okay, so that wouldn't go through in the oven. I'd leave this one for my 21 days. But what it does is it gives you a strong, resilient finish on glassware, but it doesn't tarnish over curing. Okay, so if you're going to do repeat washing, dishwasher, outdoor use, it is completely resilient. So what I'm going to do is wrap this round, and also as well, when you get a paint that's designed specifically for one surface, you can use it on card and stuff, but I would keep it just for glass, because you wouldn't want to waste it.
No.
That's why you've got your everyday Doras, okay, because they're then the versatile ones that you can use for a multitude of crafts without having to eat into a direct surface paint.
Perfect.
So I've masked off the top layer here, okay. And what I'm going to do is go in with two different colours. I've got here that wonderful, these two, which I think would be great as a blend, but then I've also got those two there, which I think would look great as a blend too. They're gorgeous, aren't they? So I'm going to start off with the lighter colour, and when you get your Doras home, they will have your metal cap and also your card seal. Your card seal you can dispose of, but your metal foil as well, I just scrape that to the side and of course nip it in down to the bottom. You'll never tear it off all in one even piece. But as long as you keep that lid on nice and tight and it's not in a bright direct sunlight area, you're going to get, of course, longevity out of your paints. Just make sure they're always airtight.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do now is go in with some of our Cadence cut and use foam. I always use foam to apply glass paints, and the reason for that is because when you stipple it, all of those metal flakes are going to come to the surface.
Right.
Okay, they all gleam, and that when you get light shining on it, you get different reflections, almost sparkles in the light. So let's cut a little bit of this off. We don't need a great deal of it, about 1 inch square if that. And we're going to start going in with our lighter colour first and almost do an entire coat of this glass with it. So you can see as I'm picking up the paint there, when it's flat like that, you get that wonderful flash. But when, of course, you stipple with it, so I'm going in very gently here, you get almost an airbrushed finish, okay, so you get a slight texture of it. Now, if you did want to use a brush and just do flat coat coverage, you absolutely can do it. It's not going to affect the durability of the paint, it'll just affect the finish, the way it looks. So let's go on to here first, and you can see...
It's a beautiful colour.
Look at the coverage,
That's
it's
lovely.
gorgeous.
On a wedding table, that would look amazing.
Oh, it's stunning. And again, just get yourself to a charity shop, or of course those bits of glassware you just don't really use that much, or the ones that of course you've thought, well, you know what, I could probably do this, I've had them for 20 years, why not? And I'm going to go in with a sheer coat first. Now Cadence always suggests 2-coat process with this paint, okay, your first one of course gives a key to the next coat, but also you'll find that you'll get a much stronger result with a 2-coat process, so thinner layers are always better with paint anyway. With hybrids, of course, you can go straight in with a 1-coat coverage. But when you're working to a particular surface like glass, you really need to make sure that you're following those processes to get you the best results and the best outcome. So you can see how I've gone over there, which is giving it a wonderful, almost lilac frosting. I'm going to work down into the stem now. Okay. And any areas that are a little bit harder to reach, I'm just pushing in with a little bit more pressure on the sponge to make sure that detail's all locking into the cut glass areas. Okay, rotate it round, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry this off with a hairdryer, because it takes only about a minute or so with a hairdryer to dry. Not cure it, but just so it's touch dry for the next coat, which is brilliant. I love that about it. Some glass paints you have to leave them like 48 hours before you can even touch them, because it's like a gel.
Right.
Whereas this, you almost feel like you're working with a standard acrylic. Here we go.
That's amazing. How pretty is that?
Oh, it is beautiful.
It's
now,
like a princess glass.
It is. I mean, look at that.
It's just lovely.
So I'm going to give this a quick blast with my hairdryer, because then it means I can handle it a little bit easier. Okay, so always make it easier for yourself. Using a hairdryer just on a warm setting. Not going to use a heat gun for this. We don't want to expose it to extreme heat yet, because the paint isn't cured. Okay. If we're going with a heat gun now, we've got risk of maybe making a skin and it'll peel off. Okay, so it won't have bonded to the surface.
Right. Okay.
So you can sit it down. I'm just going to crush that tape a little bit. There we go.
So thin coat
Yes.
with the sponge, and then dry it in between with a hairdryer.
Absolutely. You'll find as well that maybe you're doing a full set of 6 of these, you might have just moved straight onto the second one, and by the time you finish that 6th, this will be dry anyway, so there's no need for a heat tool. But I'm just working around, and as you can see, this isn't hot also. I've sort of leaned more towards using a hairdryer than I have a heat gun these days. For one, I can handle the project while I'm drying it. I'm not at risk of burning myself. Much stronger breeze as well.
Yeah.
If you've just got a draft against paint, it's going to dry it much quicker than it would do anyway.
Yeah.
And of course, heat guns are designed to kick out more heat than breeze. So you've got a very directional heat with a heat gun, whereas a hairdryer is just giving you a continuous draft.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you wouldn't dry your hair with a heat gun, would you?
No, you certainly wouldn't if you wanted an air left at the end of it. No.
Exactly. So I just sometimes think you can expose things to too high temperatures unnecessarily.
Yeah.
So this is the best way to go for it. I'm going to go around the base here, because what we're going to do is then introduce a much deeper colour.
Okay.
But adding this as an undertone is going to allow us to get still good coverage and an even blend.
Lovely.
So all the way around here, get that bit there done, and then I'm going to give this a quick dry now that we've done the base. So again, with our hairdryer. And look at that, isn't it just gorgeous how it
Very
completely
pretty.
transforms?
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
It's instant.
You're doing a prom, or you've got a 21st birthday coming
Yes.
up, or a baby shower, or gender reveal, or
Yeah.
whatever it is. You know, I mean, they're just beautiful, aren't they?
Oh, definitely. It really is. So going all the way around here, just to make sure that's nice and dry. And of course, there we go. Good to get with that. What we're going to do now is, before we introduce our deeper colour, I'm just going to go all the way around the top of this one with our initial lilac tone. Okay. So I'm going all the way around here, because whilst this coat is actually open, it'll give us a much easier blend. Because that's one thing we get asked about a lot is, oh, how do you create such strong blends? It's really tricky. I can always see a line between the two of them. It's really, really simple when you know how. And of course, when you've got the right consistency of paint. So putting this on all the way around here and not drying it is going to allow us to blend our paints much easier, because of course it's harder to shift when it's dry. So now we're going to go into our cyclamen. Okay, so when you've got your paint like this, you can go in with the tip of some scissors or of course a palette knife, and I just poke in with my finger and pull the foil back like that. Okay, so just nip it back to the inside. There we go. Clean, easiest way to do it. Okay. Pop it out on some palette paper. You never need to mix them. They don't split or separate. They're fully balanced. The paint itself is completely leveled, so you don't need to do any sort of mixing or anything or stirring. Look at that. You've got no streaks, no lines. And if you were to leave that, if it dried like that on that mat and peeled it off, how cool would that be?
Fabulous.
It'd be gorgeous. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to pick up some of that cyclamen with a little bit of the lilac, and just making almost a two-tone mix between them. Okay. I'm going to start here and work my way up with it. Okay. So I'm working around the base of the glass at the moment, making sure to cover all of that and then work my way up. So now you can see how it's fading into that colour that was open still, the wet one. And it's just slowly starting to mix. So I'm just pouncing with the sponge, just gently going around. And I'm not grasping the glass really tightly. And what I'm doing is I'm allowing it to bounce. So of course, if I was really rigid with it, of course, I'm going to get a really strong impression of paint. I'm almost just knocking it back and allowing it to fall with it. And look at that. We can start to then carry our colours up. Here we go around here. And what you want to do is not use a great deal of paint. The less you use, the easier it will be, because if you overload it, you'll get lots of texture like this. Whereas when you start to work in with your sponge, you'll feel it go slightly tacky. And that's what you get when you get the really fine mist, okay? So you want to build it up in a series of layers. Now, if at this point you're thinking, oh, I'm not quite happy with my result, don't worry, you can still build up more colours. You know, you can always go back and paint over things. That's what I love about working with paint. So I'm going to go in now with another sponge and notice that I want to put a little bit more of my original coating. So I'm not going to try and go over the top here, because then I'm going to ruin that process. I'm just noticing I want a little bit more of it around here and around this edge as well. Wonderful. So let's pick up this sponge and start to carry that colour over, just like that. It is so simple and easy.
And that sponge is essential, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't be able to get this result with a brush. No. It just would be almost physically impossible. I would not be able to get that fine blend. As the brush strokes met one another, I'd create a little speed bump with the paint, and then I'd be trying for ages to try and even that out, and it would just be more frustrating than enjoyable. So now I'm going to go in with the colour of a more concentrated tone as we go towards the base of the glass, and now you can start to see how it's fading up. So let's work into the stem, okay, with that colour, working all the way around. And again, imagine all these being out on a shelf, one of each colour.
I know.
How lovely would they look? They would look amazing.
Well, a summer garden party would be fabulous.
Oh, they would. And then you know for a fact that everything that you've painted can be washed. If you're making and selling with all of this, you know, you can pass on that knowledge to your customers of saying, you can wash this, you can do everything you would expect to do with the glass as you would before, even though it's painted.
I think the key here is lots of thin layers.
Lots of thin layers.
Isn't it? And patience. Don't expect to do it in 2 minutes flat, because that's not how it works. You've got to put some effort in, haven't you?
Absolutely. You want to get the result.
Which is why you buy in the first place.
Absolutely it is. So what I'm going to do is put this base coat on, then I'm going to quickly dry it and then just finish off any areas around the base round here. So let's give it a quick blast. Won't be a second.
No, that's all right. Let's watch it from start to finish, and then
I think it's nicer to sometimes see the full transformation.
Absolutely.
And you can also see that the results are as clear and as easy. Now, of course, if I was doing this at home, I would spend more time on it and I wouldn't rush it. But it's not going to affect the efficiency of the use anyway. No. So it's a great paint to be able to share with you a full process. Some stuff I do have to have part done before I come into the studio. Things like this are great because you can see how quick and easy it actually is.
Absolutely. I have loads of cut glass that my mum and dad used to have. I'm going to do that.
I've got tons. And you know what? Charity shops are practically giving it away. There's stuff everywhere. And it's so nice to be able to sort of reinvent something and get better use out of it. Here we are. So we're almost there dry with this one. I'm just going to give it a blast around here. And then I'm going to have a little look and see what I'm working with. So look at that beautiful blend that we've got. I'm going to go in with my deeper colour, which is just on this sponge here, and just go around the base of the stem to really intensify that pigmentation. So look at that, as it's going on with that second coat,
Wow.
you can see the difference.
Yeah, you can.
And you will thank yourself for doing 2 coats rather than one really thick coat. Okay, the finish is better. It's like, if you relate it to your mats and layers on your cards, if you do thin, fine like mats and layers, the card looks far more professional. When they're thick and chunky, they can look a bit more juvenile. With this, it's the same process.
Yep.
When you put your paint on in those really fine layers, the finish is just so much more enjoyable, and you really will appreciate that. Here we go, just working around these edges, just into there. And then have another look at the glass, see what we're working with. And I'm thinking I probably could build up a little bit more intensifying colour around here, just on those indentations that we have. There we go, rotate it around a little bit. I'm working with my hand on the inside of the glass, always making sure one hand's touching the paint, one hand's never really getting in contact with it at all. There we go. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more. Now, what would be really pretty is then to work in with different shades and just pick up some fine accents. What I did do with these, though, is in our other show we had last week, I then took them into the show where we had our hot fix rhinestones and rhinestoned them, because then they were also washable.
Wow.
I know, right? So what I'm going to do is just quickly dry that so I can peel my tape off. There we go. A little bit of heat around there. As well, when you're working with your sponge applicators and your brushes, all that sort of stuff, just make sure to wash them thoroughly, because it is permanent and it will stay. But let's just do it. And why I've masked this top edge off is because the texture upon drinking this, you would want it to still be like glassware. So you've still got that wonderful.
How beautiful is that?
It's just gorgeous.
Isn't it?
And it was so easy, so quick to do. And that there as a full set would look tremendous. And think about how easy it is.
I think the Doras are still my favourites.
Yeah.
I love them.
They're just incredible. Nothing beats it. It's just, and the colours is the broadest range of colours that they do in any metallics, of course, of this finish as well. And to have it as a glass paint means that you can now take all of your decorative finishes, all of those painting effects that you've learnt along the way with Cadence, into something that is just so, something that you would always aspire to be able to do, but you can achieve in seconds.
Yeah. Lovely. You'd pay a small fortune for that in somewhere like John Lewis, wouldn't you?
You would indeed. But
it's lovely.
Imagine just a little bow around there, or you make a little tag on it that says 21, something like that, in a gift, a slimline shoebox.
Yeah, beautiful. Absolutely fabulous. Right, David, I'm going to let you clear up.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I come down here and just recap these colours for you. So, first of all, thank you for joining us this morning, afternoon. No, still in the morning, just about. We do this every day, you know. Monday to Friday. 8 till 2, and then we also do Monday to Thursday from 6 till 7, and Saturday morning 8, 9 and 10. You can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and on our website. If you're shopping with us on either of our social media platforms, we're going to show you a product, and that product will have a code, and all you're going to do is type shop and then that code into the comments when you're ready to buy that product. Then we're going to send you a message that says thank you very much for your order, and within that message there will be a link. Click that link, that will take you to our website. Log in so you can access your basket, and also log in so that you will get your club discount, loyalty points, and on a basket spend over £35, free shipping, which is fab. If you're going to watch us on our website, all you need to do is click add to basket as you go down those products at the side of your screen. That's going to put them into a little red shopping bag, which will appear at the top of your screen, just up there. And when you're ready to check out, click on that, and that will take you through that checkout process. So let's find you some goodies to put in that basket, shall we? Well, first of all, our brand new glass paints from Cadence are Dora glass. Dora for me is the most opulent. It has that mica in it, it has the crushed metal flake in it, and it has reflection. Like, it's just amazing. I mean, you've seen literally David spend, what, 5-10 minutes doing that glass? Absolutely stunningly beautiful. So, first set, Shop Jewel, gets you your anthracite, your emerald green, your peridot gold, and your bright fuchsia. That's Shop Jewel, $19.99. Your next one is Shop Rich. That's got your amethyst, your cyclamen, your sax blue, and your diamond. Love that diamond. Absolutely beautiful. Shop Rich. Then in this one, you've got your dark turquoise, your chestnut, your bright maroon, and your black. That's Shop Lavish. And then my favourite one, I think, down here is Shop Polish, where you've got your champagne, your jade, your aqua, and your antique lilac. So each set of 4, $19.99. You take your choice from jewel, rich, lavish, and polish. Okay, right, let's have a look at these sprays next, because it looks like David's getting ready to use these, and I love a spray. I remember the first time I ever sprayed something, so I'd done all this big canvas and I cut all this stuff out and I built it all up, and it was like arts and crafts, and it had all paintbrushes on it and palettes on it and all sorts, and it was all white. I gessoed everything white and then went outside with a load of sprays and spritzed it and just let it run. It's amazing. It's a fabulous thing to do. And this is using the Cadence spritzers here. So Shop Summer is going to get your ink sprays. So these aren't a paint, they're an ink. There's no shimmer, shine, no extras in it. This is your pure ink sprays. Shop Summer is going to get you the light blue, the light purple, the magenta, and the yellow. That's Shop Summer, $12.99. Shop Earth is going to get you the dark brown, the orange, the fuchsia, and the purple. So that's your earth tones. Then you've also come down here to your primaries. So you've got your black, your white, your blue, and your red in there. And then Shop Bright is going to get you your teal, your light fuchsia, your dark orange, and your green, all $12.99 each, which is fabulous. Right, let's just move on to this. So this isn't a hybrid. If you're going to put it on something that you want to be outdoor or something that you want to have a lot of use out of, then you're going to seal it with a layer of aquastone varnish. But these are very, very pretty colours. Brand new to us. Stephanie launched them on Saturday, did you say, David?
Yep.
So brand new to you on Saturday. You've got your pastel green, your light green, which is like a very, very soft turquoise. It's a beautiful colour. It's really, really pretty. Then you've also got your pastel pink, you've got your baby pink, you've got your light lilac. Second row down, you've got your mauve. You've got this lovely, almost like a well, it is sunflower, it's called, sunflower yellow. This one makes me smile, light pinkish orange. It just makes me smile. Then you've also got baby blue. And then you've got vanilla yellow. So all of those, all 10 colours, $3.99 a bottle before your club discount. That's amazing, right? And it's over your £35. So make sure that basket comes up to over £35, then you'll get your free shipping. Right, I just want to do the Dora waxes quickly, and then we'll go back to David, if that's all right with you guys at home. So Shop Wax is going to get you all 12 colours. Again, the Dora family. So it's got that mica in, it's got that crushed metal flake in there as well. So in here you're going to get the pearl, the rich gold, and the Mediterranean sky. You're then also going to get your apple green, which is a lovely spring green. It's a beautiful colour. My favourite, the dark orchid, which has that real rich opulence to it. You've then got your diamond, which is a super, super pretty colour. You've then also got black, which gives you that shot of metallic going through it. You're also going to get your dark turquoise in there. Then you're going to get your antique pink, very, very soft, pretty colour. Then you're going to get your silver. I mean, how lovely is that? Really, really soft, pretty silver. Then you've got your white gold, which has almost like a silver and a gold mix. And then last but by no means least, one of David's favourites, the malachite. Absolutely stunning, beautiful. Now then, here's the deal. You're saving £47.89 by buying the full collection, okay? It's $59.99 for all 12, which makes it £5?
My goodness.
£5.
Wow.
5 12 is 60. £5. £5 for one of those.
That's ridiculous.
I
That is
know.
a crazy deal.
That is ridiculous.
And as
but
well, if
very
you got
good.
a
I'm
couple
glad
of
about
them,
that.
if you bought a few when we started sharing them with you, you could of course top up on them and get the rest of them at a crazy deal at the same time.
Absolutely. $47.89 saving. That's, yeah, you don't want to miss out on that one, do you?
No.
Can I just do these as well, because I love them?
Lovely pair.
Thank you. So, apples and pears. I have a story about that, I can't tell you. I can. I'll tell you if I ever see you. Shot fruit, an apple and a pear.
An apple and a
Concrete.
pear? You're
Apple and
joking, right?
pears.
Apple and pears. I love these. They're so
I
heavy,
do.
right?
Yeah, they are. They're
They
brilliant
weigh a lot.
paperweights. Or doorstops.
Doorstops, paperweights. They look great in the garden too.
Love them. I think they're absolutely fabulous. Imagine they're, just lush. Yeah, love stuff like that you can just go to town with and do something completely different.
I won't take it to town. It's quite heavy.
It is. I once walked to town in my slippers.
You once walked down in your slippers?
Yeah. And we used to live in our old house before I learnt to drive. I used to walk everywhere, like literally everywhere.
Yeah.
And I got halfway down the main road and went, pavement's a bit.
Don't tell me you had your slippers on.
I had my slippers on.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
I carried on
everything in
going.
my
I was like, I'm not
slippers.
turning back now to go and change my shoes to walk all the way back down again.
I live in my slippers. You know, the second I walk through the front door, in and out those shoes, in the slippers,
In the slippers.
kettle on,
Kettle on. That's it.
comfy.
Job done. Right, my lovely. What we're going to play with now?
Okay, so I was thinking we could have a look at these ink sprays. I'll start
yes,
off by
please.
doing a canvas. I just spritzed one of them and topped up my coffee and also got everywhere at the same time. So make sure there's no coffee on the table when you're doing it.
Please do.
These, of course, are your intensely pigmented ink sprays from Cadence. They are beautiful. And, of course, they will react with water. Now, you can see I've got a few missing elements here on. So, of course, if I spritzed over here, you can see how it brings that to life. So even if there is some residue or some spray left, you can see how automatically that would activate. How cool is that? It's amazing. So if I just spritz over here with some water, I know this isn't what I was going to do, but you can see how it really brings that out, and you could start to paint with them already before you've even planned your project. It's fab. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spritz over and make a lovely inky background, and then we're going to blend onto it. So I'm going to spritz it first with some water, because I always find that the inks will travel nicely if you almost prime it a little bit with water. And my ink spray bottle here is not playing ball with me. Let's grab another one. There we go. That's a bit better, right?
There you go.
I'm just completely spritzed all over Amanda.
Quick refresh.
There we go. Right, so let's go in with some of our colours. Look how beautifully vibrant these are. These are intense. Okay.
Wow.
So I'm going in with some colour here. I'm not going to overpower it too much with my deeper colours. I'm just going to bring them into the sides. Now, the beauty of these, of course, you can allow them to travel by adding that water, which gives you that wonderful blend going down here. Didn't want to introduce too much of my intense colour, because as it trickles down, of course, we want to see the result from this. But I'm just going to start to spritz in a little bit with our water, and look at how it's all starting to come to life here. If I just grab my hairdryer and blow it down, okay, so I'm going to push it down, all of the ink. Look at this.
Wow.
So what's happened here is our capella has resisted the ink because, of course, it sealed it into the top. So we're creating the background, but we're getting the wonderful image through, which means we can still work on top of it. Here we are.
I love these sprays.
Oh, they're amazing.
It's one of those things you've got to get over, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember, I can't remember whether it was Anna Brown or Anna, what's the other Anna called? Higginbottom.
Yes.
That said to me, and I was going out with all these sprays, and I was like, oh, I'm a bit scared because I've just spent hours and hours and hours on this canvas. She went, Melanie, you can always paint over it. I was like, good point.
So true. So
that
true.
That takes away the fear, doesn't it?
Of course it does, absolutely. But you know what? Have fun with it. These are such an expressive medium to work with. See, I've gone straight into here, and what I'm going to do now is dry this off, okay?
And this doesn't have to be for your mixed media. This could be making your backgrounds.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If you're going to do some of your printmaking as well, stamping with it, you can do that. You can watercolour with it as well. So I'm pushing it all in the same direction for the time being. I'm just going to try and dry this off the best I can so we can start to work into it a little bit.
Okay.
See how I can push it as well?
Yeah, I love
make
that.
It travel.
Yeah.
Do some in some different directions. Divert that up here. I absolutely love it. I think it's fab.
I like working in different directions. It makes it more cohesive. More cohesive, doesn't it?
It really does. So, just feel what we're working with here. Wonderful. Okay, so now that we've got our background created, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with some of our stencils. Now, look at that. I absolutely love that background. And again, I only used there my sun yellow. I used that wonderful magenta colour as well. I also dipped into our lovely purple. So I only used a couple of colours there, and of course our deep dark one, to create this fabulous background. So I've got those stencils as well with me, which means we can start to build in some texture into our background. Now you could, of course, when this project is finished, go over with your white and do your mists, like your cosmic spray over the top, which would look fabulous. I'm going to go in with some gesso though to start with. Okay. So I'm going to get my gesso. And again, there's so many different uses for gesso. I'm not stencil spraying this down. I'm keeping it, of course, as it is. Making sure to work with a nice dry stencil brush because I don't want to activate too much of this ink right now. So I'm going to take some of my gesso off my brush onto my palette here because I don't want to overload it.
Could I mix my gesso with the spray?
Yeah, absolutely. So what you could do is you could take some of your gesso like this, okay, onto your palette, and then take some of the ink that you want to work with. So let's say it's this one.
Wow.
And then you just start to fold it in, okay? Start to fold it in. Now, it's nice to work with it like this because it marbles, but keep working into it like this. Watch, you create your very own mix of gesso.
That's really cool. Of course, you use the same sprays that you used on the canvas. It's all going to coordinate together, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Look at this. Wonderful.
That's amazing.
We'll use that, okay?
Let's do it.
So I'm going to go in with my gessos. And just through my stencil here, I'm just going to gently start to blend in, almost like a ghost image over the top. Okay, just in with that stencil. Now what will happen when you go in with ink sprays and gesso on top, the ever so slight amount of water content that's inside that gesso will pull some of that ink through.
Right.
It's a little bit like if you're using certain inks, like if you're using inks from your printer on rice paper and you go with paint, sometimes the ink can come through on the back because, of course, it's a different combination, there's different forming that this will pull through a little bit of that colour. So I'm just working with the ghost image for now, blending up to our design inside there. I don't want any squared edges, but you can see you've just got that wonderful background.
What a difference that makes.
It's stunning, isn't it?
Isn't it?
So I'm not using stencil spray. I don't need to be super cautious with where I'm going. I'm not getting a sharp image with this. It's not what I'm desiring at the moment right now. So I'm just going to start from my corner, and again, almost do a little bit of patchy stenciling. And it's really nice to have a bit of contrast in your work as well. This isn't what I would usually always go for, but I can't tell you how fun it is.
No,
it's so nice just to pick up a brush and play with your mediums that create art at the same time. And this could be a card front. This doesn't have to be a canvas.
No.
This could be on fabric as well if you wanted it to. Of course, you just want to put it through the washing machine. It's decorative on fabrics.
Isn't that cool?
But then look at how it's dried inside the graining of this texture here.
Yeah.
That's where we're then going with our gilding waxes.
Oh,
okay,
nice.
so you can build up texture with this. And they're great as well, of course, if you are new to the Cadence journey. See, I've got this here, and I'm not quite happy with how that's squared off at that corner. So I'm just going to bring this stencil back in. Don't want that word because it's there. So I'm probably just going to pop that here, paint a little bit of paint off there, and just dust around this bottom edge like that. And that's just brought it through a little bit more. It looked a little bit too squared off.
And it's better to just do light layers.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Especially with this effect, the one that we're trying to create, you know, almost a background that's faded out in areas.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to do now is we've got some deeper colours.
You're also kind of taking your design from what you've already created, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely.
I love that.
Me too.
Because you did the foreground first and now you're doing the background. It's a different process, but it works brilliantly,
this is
doesn't it?
We're working in so many different layers.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm going to spritz some of my dark brown onto my palette paper for this one.
Nice colour.
Look at that.
That's
it's gorgeous.
Like the deepest, darkest coffee you'd ever drink.
Oh, I know.
It's bouncing off the walls, isn't that, David?
Oh, maybe after 6. Built up a high tolerance to caffeine now.
Oh, have you?
Now. Yeah.
Oh, do you? That's not good.
So what I'm going to do, honestly, the coffee beans that we buy at home, for me they're fine. I give one my mum and she couldn't drive. She had to wait about 10 minutes.
Wow. Well, apparently what lorry drivers do is they stop, drink a coffee, go to sleep for 20 minutes, and then when they wake up, it's in the system.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how they do it, apparently.
Oh, wow.
So if all else fails, we can become long-distance lorry drivers.
Right, okay, well, there we go then. I do suit a HGV. So what I'm doing now is with the dark brown ink, I'm using it as a blending ink, okay? So I'm just dipping into it and picking out elements of texture, okay? And look at that, look how beautiful that is there. We've just built that over the top.
Isn't it?
It's gorgeous, and we're just allowing that colour to permeate and come through.
Really, I love that stencil.
Oh, it's amazing. I love how it's non-directional as well. I'm going to go over the top of our ink and our gessoed stencil too. So back in with our dark brown ink for this one, working into the corner, Okay, don't be afraid to go over the top continuously.
No, it's layer and layer, isn't it?
Absolutely. I might think, well, I'm not really creating much design here, not much is going on, but when you take it away, you start to see that wonderful pattern underneath. So I'm going right up to the edge of the stem here, so it almost looks like we stenciled on top of the crackle. So carrying that up through, I start to fade this out now. Okay, work up to here. And alongside this, you could start to mix in a bit of that gesso with that dark brown ink, and you're making like your own distress paste at the same time. Now that's going to give us a more blocked out coverage. Back in with our ink, mix it together, and then look what we've got down here.
Wow.
It's beautiful. Now we've got a gradient with the same blend. And this here, I noticed I'd had some water on my stencil, so what it's done is it's actually pulled the ink back up.
Yeah.
But look at how that there would allow you to create additional technique. It's really interesting what you can do with this. So now I'm going to go in with some gesso because I've got a darker area here. And again, for this, I'm using my ink sprays. Remember, of course, I started with my ink sprays. I'm going in with different mediums, like my gessos, to build them up. Okay. And then what we can do, let's get a fan brush. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is take some more of our ink and build it up. And then I'm going to bring it into the fan brush. And I'm just going to create, don't worry, Becky, is I'm going to do some little speckles just on here. You could actually just go straight in with the end of your brush and just tap it off a little bit. If you wanted to do some smaller ones, it really is up to you. I've got a bit of gesso mixed in there. I'm not going to flick this too much because I don't want Becky to be absolutely spritzed. Honestly, you walk through that studio door and it's all like, what?
I know. Go out with a
Look at
completely
that.
different outfit on.
There we go.
That's lovely, David.
Look at this. So now we've done it with the dark brown. There we go. I'm going to rinse this through. Okay, and then what I'm going to do with my clean one is I'm going to do the same but with some white.
Okay.
Okay, so let's take this away and we're going to go in with our white
It's unusual
ink spray.
to get white.
Yeah, and I love
like
that
it,
this,
though.
you'll find as well, it's really interesting, this one. The pigmentation of your white is the only one that is different for the rest of them because
Right.
it's great as a top coat, okay?
Okay.
But also the beauty of it is it's not to overpower any of the other tones, so you could mix your own pastel inks,
Yes.
so you can dilute them down, create your own consistencies. That's really sort of the whole design purpose for these particular inks as well. But I'm just going to go in with some little spritz. I love the little speckles of white. I've still got a bit of brown in there, but that's fine. I'm just going to pour it out so it's a bit quicker, or you can just use
Yes. There you go.
this
Look at
itself.
that. Love that.
And
Yeah,
what
it's not a
would happen,
dense white, is it?
No, it's not.
Just enough, it just blends in.
It's just subtle, but what you'll find is the longer it sits on the surface while it's wet, it reminds me of an acrylic pour. It pushes ink away.
Right, okay.
So it's really interesting. There we go.
That is interesting. It moves the colour underneath.
Yeah, it's fab. I absolutely love it. Now, I would let that, of course, dry. You could pick out some detail in here with your wax. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm just going to take a little bit of wax out here onto my mat like that. There we go. And then just with my finger, I'm going to go over the tops
Wow.
of this beautiful peony design that we have here. This is from our layering stencils. Of course, you can do this with any of your designs. I've still got, of course, some moisture, some speckles from that ink, which is allowing the wax to travel a little bit for us. And I'm just going in, just dragging it down in the gradient. Use a little bit of tissue as well, just to do a bit of blending. So bring that down a little bit. There we are. I absolutely love doing this. It's so fun just to explore.
It is.
The
Sometimes you just
techniques.
allocate some product and some time and just play.
That's the beauty, and I think you get a much better understanding of the characteristics
do.
of how they work. It's like if you use your die cutting machine every day, you instantly know, oh, that's not going to fit through, this sandwich feels too heavy, all that sort of stuff. But when you start to get used to the compounds and the way things move, the way things travel, it gives you a far better understanding, and you gain that knowledge. And once you have the knowledge, you know straight away how to plan out your projects. You know you can use this, you grab this, that and the other. I know that that won't work with this, I know that that will make this look better. That's all of the stuff that comes in with building it, and that's why the club is so important, is because it gives you that through an instructional way, but also for your own discovery. So what I'm going to do,
That's lovely.
I
Love
just
that.
bring that round, and we've created all of that texture from an existing project.
Wow.
and really build onto it. I absolutely love it.
I love it. Looks completely different, doesn't it?
It's so fun as well. Of course, Acapella resisted the ink to start with because it's not matte. It dries, of course, with an ever so slight sheen. It wasn't the serious one, which is more of like a pumice stone texture. And then all of the ink adhered to all of our gessoed canvas.
Love that.
So
right,
fun.
Let's go and recap these colours then, and then you can make your decisions, can't you? So, Shop Summer is going to get you these 4 colours at the top. So, light blue, light purple, magenta, and your yellow. That will get you all 4 of those for $12.99 before your club discount, which is great. Then you've got your earth spray, so your dark brown, your orange, your fuchsia, and your purple. Shop Earth will get you those 4. Shop Primary is going to get you the following 4, so your black, white, blue, and red. And then Shop Bright at the bottom is going to get you your light green, light fuchsia, dark orange, and a green, a deeper green. So all of those, $12.99 for 4. You've seen David mix them with a paste. You've seen him use them with a spritz, use them straight out of the bottle, paint with them, stencil with them, all those different things. It's just a liquid form of an ink pad. That's all it is, like buying a refill for your ink pad. That is brilliant. Absolutely fabulous. They're 25ml bottles, but the level and quality of pigment that Cadence use in their products is second to none. It's absolutely fabulous, and you'll see how you can go from really light to really deep depending on what you use them with, which is super. Right, let's have a quick run through these stencils again for you, because you've seen David using some of these. So this is called Shop Backgrounds. 20% of this is allocated and in people's baskets, and I'm not surprised. These are never going to be SVG files. They've been bought in, so we're not going to convert them. So if you want them, you're going to have to get them in this form. Shop Background is going to get you set 3 for $19.99. That is absolutely, I love it. There isn't a single one on there that I wouldn't use over and over and over again. Love that. That's a great one for men's clothes and teenagers as well. You know, teenage boy, he's that really difficult age. Yeah, I've got a couple of them. Right, Shop Background, $19.99. Next one, Shop Birds. This is your birds and foliage. $34.99 is going to get you all 6 of these stencils. You'll just pop these extra little pieces out. Missed one there. And we've just put them onto black for you so that you can see them clearly and what they would look like a silhouette as well. But if you watch the show I did before I went on holiday with the foil pen, these are going to look exceptional with those, or just with a black gesso through on your inky background. So you can make your backgrounds with your inks and your different paints, and then just go over with a black hybrid acrylic on this. That would look fabulous. So that one is Shop Birds, $34.99. Next one is Shop Floral. That's going to get you all of these. And I love the fact you've got all the little extra elements in here as well. So the different grasses, the butterflies, the little dragonfly in there as well. That's going to become invaluable, especially if you're on Stephanie's painting journey as well. Then you've also got these 3. That's my favourite. I love that. I think it's really quite quirky. That's just beautiful. And some more open ones in there as well. And then you come on to your sunflowers and your peonies, which are just gorgeous. How lovely is that set? Shop Floral, $34.99. Now then, these are amazing. Shop Borders is going to get you all of these 6. Now they can go that way, but they can also work that way as well, which is lovely. And even upside down that way as well, you'd get away with them. So Shop Borders is going to get you all 6 of those for $24.99. That's crazy value for money. I like the fact they've all got the little circle in the bottom so you can put them onto a little clip ring and keep them all safe. But what an amazing opportunity. And you might just use that bit. You might not use all this bit. You might just use the border bit, the border element there. It's entirely up to you. Just a small portion. You know, you've got a heart in there. You turn that the other way around. You've got hearts going down that front of that stencil. Here, look. So you could do all of that kind of thing with them as well. So Shop Borders, $24.99 is going to get you all 6 of those. Shop Crossover. Now these are fabulous. So these are your half mandalas. And the reason we do half is because you can flip the stencil and then create a full one if you want to. But you have the opportunity to work with them like this as well, which is fab. And I love the fact that you can separate bits out. I think that's really clever. So Shop Crossover is going to get you all 6 of those for $24.99, which is an amazing deal. Right, David, are we ready?
Yeah, before we go into another project.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to snap it in half. You've broken my candle.
Well, it's a bit like...
Estelle.
Well, I'm very disappointed in
Now
that.
I've got a wick at both ends.
It's been said.
Mel's broken the candle, everybody.
I've broken David.
As long as you were here as a witness.
So what was this?
It's a candle. So it's a clear candle gel, but basically... you set it into glassware and ceramics and stuff, and it makes a clear candle and it burns. But I thought, I'll test it in one of the moulds to see what it's like. Didn't really think that through.
Well,
no way.
there's so many things I want to say right now, but I'm not going to.
Is everyone into spin the win as well?
Spin the win.
Spin to the win. Spin the wheel.
Spin to the win. Spin to the win. To the win. To the spin.
Spin to the win.
Don't forget to type in these stencils. Honestly, the only boards I didn't do, David. Wait, look at them.
Yes, of course. So.
Right. Sorry. Yeah.
Let's do this.
Let's do that.
So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you that those brand new ink sprays, you can turn into a translucent glass paint, okay? I know. So what I've done is I've taken from my Magic Bond and Seal kit the dishwasher safe adhesive. Now that's the one that you're going to want to use out of this collection. Of course, you've got 5 different adhesives to work with. I'm using the dishwasher safe one for this process because I'm working onto my glassware. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my ink here, okay, and just pour it onto my palette. I'm not spritzing it because, of course, I don't want it to flare out everywhere.
Go everywhere.
Yeah. So I'm pouring a little bit of my ink out, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start to mix them together by bringing some of the ink into the glue.
Oh.
And you can see how it's going to mix together.
Wow.
So we start to mix this, and what you're doing now is you're creating your very own, of course, tinted adhesive, which would look great with rice papers too, because you could use just a small amount. But when you start to stipple this on glassware, we can create our very own glass paint, okay?
Wow.
Because the glue is going to dry completely transparent, leaving you with a stained glass effect.
Oh.
I know, I love this. So with this, because this is a little bit of a texture plate that we're doing at the moment, or a technique plate, if you like, I'm going to put on just some masking tape just to show you what it's like down this edge. We can do it over the back of our mirror, though, as well. But I'm going to bring in some Cadence cutting news for this, because it looks great stippled. And I'm going to pick it up on the sponge. Now, you don't want a great deal of it on there, okay, with glass paints and, of course, on glassware. It's always best to work in, of course, fine, thin layers, as we mentioned earlier. Go straight onto here, and we build up that process, okay? Nice and thin films, so, of course, an even texture will be created across the whole of the project. Here we go, right up to the edge. And remember, you're working with an adhesive, so it dries quite quickly. You have broken down a little bit of the properties in there by adding that ink, but this is still, of course, hand washable, which is great. So, but it's going to lock all that ink in place. One coat over there, like this. We're going to give it a quick blast with our hairdryer. Okay. Look at that. We've got tinted glassware already.
Wow.
I know. So, going to give us a dry.
I love the fact that you've got all these different things. You would never have thought of putting an ink spray on glass.
No.
But
You just wouldn't.
because of the medium that you've got to mix it in with, which makes it bond,
Yeah.
it makes sense, doesn't it?
It does, because naturally, if you spritz this onto glass, it would just resist and pull
Yeah,
off. It'd be like water off a
absolutely.
duck's back.
Because when I first saw the sprays, I was like, why are Cadence doing inks?
Yeah.
They're a paint company,
Exactly.
right? They're a medium company, but
Yes.
it absolutely makes sense, doesn't
Makes
it?
so much
because
sense.
of everything else that they sell alongside it.
Definitely. So then what we do is with that sponge again, I'm going to pick up a bit more ink as I just mix this together. There we go. So picking up that medium of that dishwasher safe glue alongside, of course, that ink spray. So I'm literally using 2 colours, well, 1 colour and 2 mediums altogether. Build up our second coat, okay, which of course is going to give us a stronger coverage of colour. And then really gently just pat down the surface, okay, and that's going to get rid of any air bubbles. Because sometimes when you stipple, you can oxygenate the paint a little bit too much.
Yeah.
So this here is just going to pop any bubbles and give us a nice flat coat, okay, all the way across there. Now, whilst the second coat is wet, that's when you take your tape away. Because if you were to fully dry that with your second coat, you're at risk of creating a skin between the two layers and peeling that off with it before it's cured. Okay, so now let's give that a quick dry. Because we now have our very own glass paint.
That's
now,
lovely.
I did a project, so I've done one on here onto a little glass jar, so you can see it. Creates a wonderful enamelled glaze effect, which I absolutely love.
Yep.
I have done one over mirror spray as well. Don't know what I've done with that one. Might have gone. Just going to give that a quick blast. Inside there.
This one?
Ah, that's the one. That's the at the bottom. Fabulous. So that there is then the same process, thank you Mel, done over the top of your mirror spray. So then you can create your very own tinted mirror spray. So mirror spray can then be any colour you want it to be.
Wow.
Look at that. So that there is a mirror spray on the inside of the glass, and then our fabulous dishwasher safe and ink together. And then, of course, that's it with nothing behind it. It's so cool. I love it to bits.
That is really fab, isn't it?
That's how you turn ink sprays into a paint.
Wow.
Into a glass paint, into a glaze.
So, you need your bond and seal for that, right?
Yep.
All right, so $14.99 is going to get you a set of 5 different mediums from Cadence. So, let's see what we've got here. Love this set. I've got my favourite in. Right, so this one is your bond and seal craft glue for every occasion. All right, so this is your gloss finish. So if you want a shine, a glossy finish to your projects, that's the one that you're going to get all of them, so you'll know what to use them for. Then you've got your matte. So that's exactly the same product, but matte without the sheen to it. Then you've got my favourite one, this one, which is the one that makes your rice papers able to go through the dishwasher, which is just crazy. I can't even get my head around that. Even now, can't get my head around that. So that's fabulous. Then you're also going to get this one, which is your fabric glue as well. So the right glue for the right job. And then you've also got this one, which is lovely. It gives it that really nice vintage stained finish. So all 5 of those different glues, and it's a great way to try the different glues, this, and try different techniques, because then you're not paying 20 quid for one bottle of glue that you might only use once. You'll use these over and over and over again, and it gives you an opportunity to try them, even though they are a good size product. Shop Magic, $14.99 is going to get you that one. I'm just going to quickly go through the mirror spray as well, because you've just seen how David has changed the colour of that. Shop Mirror, this is UK only. It's an aerosol. 20% of this is now allocated and in people's baskets. It's $19.99 today. It should be $29.99, so you've got a £10 saving with this. That, honestly, it will blow your mind. Just go out and get some bits of glass, spray it, and honestly, frightened me to the first time I looked at the glass, because I could see myself in it. I wasn't expecting it at all. It's a brilliant product.
Instant. In fact, actually, if you're able to pass me a little tiny place marker, the little glass that clear one, I'll get one ready and I'll do a mini mirror project on it. Okay?
A mini mirror project.
Mirror.
Right, so get it while you can. Shop Mirror, $19.99. Right, let me talk to you about this gold leaf, because this is lovely. So inside each one of these packets, you're going to get 100 sheets. So you're going to get 100 of the gold, which is this one here, which is just beautiful. I mean, it's super fine and delicate, but it's amazing product. Then we've also got, these all gold, David?
Oh, sorry, no, that's just me a bit of stash,
That's your bit of stash. So that's your gold. You're then getting it in silver. I don't want to open these again, because I've got loads open somewhere.
Matt, I've got a bit of stash. Let me have a look. Oh, wait, here we go.
Yeah.
Just nobody sneeze.
Yeah, there we are, underneath, that's it.
Some colours.
There's your silver.
And there you go, it's your silver.
Thank you.
And then you've got your salmon.
Salmon, rose gold.
So there we go. Look
how beautiful that is. I mean, it's a joy to work with as well, isn't it? Because you're not fighting with little bits of dust.
Yeah.
It's lovely. You know where that was going to stop then, did you? Then you've got your rose gold in there as well. So your regular gold, your silver, and your rose gold. You're getting 100 sheets of each one of those. You're then also going to get, I'm going to pass all this lot back to David, and then he's got all his stash. There you are, my love.
My stash.
His stash. Then you're also going to get a set of 12 colours, 2 of each, and in here you're going to get the smaller sizes. They're 8 centimetres square, but you get these wonderful rich jewel tones. These would be absolutely fabulous through those stencils, wouldn't they? A little bit of foil here and there would look absolutely exquisite. So you've got all your different colours in there as well, and you're getting 2 of each of those different colours inside there. Then you're also going to get your mop brushes, which is what you will have seen David using. These are fabulous for applying leaf. They're the best brushes that you can possibly use when you're using your gilding leaf, because it's very gentle and they're very, very, very soft. Just try not to get glue on them. You know what I'm saying? Try not to get glue on them. And then you've also got 10 of your super, super, super fine brushes, and they go from quite a short brush nib to quite a long one as well. So if you're outlining, there's some great stuff in there for you as well. So all of that with your extra 24, give you those back because they're yours, is shop leaf. $44.99. It's going to get you all of that.
324 sheets of foil?
Yes,
oh
and
my
your brushes.
Gosh, that's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? So that is shop leaf $44.99. The glue that you're going to need to use that is your Mixi-On glue. 70ml bottle, $4.49. So for less than £50, you're getting the glue and everything that you need to get started on that gilding journey, which is amazing, isn't it?
This bundle is incredible. I'm so glad we brought this to the Craftmaster strand of products, because it's a staple. We use it with stenciling, we use it with card making, paper craft, fabrics, everything.
All of it.
It's so, and I've looked, of course, imitation leaf and the prices you can pay, and of course the variety that you would want to expect. This is one of the biggest amounts of variety. And again, at a very competitive price. Look at that.
And this is on one of the glass jars with the mirror spray inside, but even on the lid. Look, it's a cork lid.
It's amazing.
Used the Mixi-On glue and then just went over the top. Look how beautiful that looks.
That's such a nice project.
Isn't it pretty?
It's gorgeous.
I think we should do that as a festival project.
I think so.
Okay.
That'd be nice.
That'd be nice. This festival.
Can you make me one right now? Oh, you've done it. There.
It's there.
Done.
Yeah,
Finished.
Sorted.
Sorted.
Easy.
Samples all done. Right. Okay.
Right,
So I'm going to do a really quick
now?
example of just the mirror spray, so you can see it in action. And just for those of you who have joined us and haven't seen it, okay. Now, the mirror spray, always give it a really good shake before you use it, and then of course just do a little test spray. Make sure your nozzle's clean. Okay.
Cleaning glass.
Cleaning glass. This is a really important part of the process as well. So when you are cleaning your glassware, I'm wearing gloves at the moment, and I would suggest always wearing either some gloves or some cloth gloves, because as hard as you will try, you will get fingerprints on the glass. And if you've mirror sprayed over the fingerprints, of course, they're going to show through.
Yeah, they are.
And also as well, on all of our hands, we have oils as well. It's just natural within our skin. If you pick up glassware, you're prone to leave marks on it. So as much as you use a degreaser or anything, as soon as you pick that back up, there will be a fingerprint. So prep is key with this product, okay? So make sure it's nice and clean. Alcohol rub is a great shout for this one. But if you don't have any of that, mine's run out, I'll just use hot soapy water. Make sure it's bone dry, okay? And use a microfiber cloth on it afterwards. So mirror spray directly onto the back here of our glass pane, just like that. And then I'm really quickly going to dry it off, okay? Really, really quickly. Just going to dry that for us. And then I'm also going to do a really quick second coat. And what we're going to do is just dry that off too. So we'll be alright to have the fan on again, if that's okay. Cheers, my dears. And then we have our instant mirror.
That blows my mind every single time.
Right,
that blows my mind.
So you've got an instant mirror straight away. It is bonkers. You can see that reflection is just instant. It's crazy.
Someone is asked, when you use it with a stencil, how do you clean the stencil?
Great shout. That's a really good question. When you're working with a stencil, if it's a Mylar stencil and you want to get your mirror spray off there, soak them in really hot soapy water with a dishwasher tablet.
Yep.
That's the best way to do it.
I remember watching you do that on a piece of cut glass, a bowl.
I
And
remember
you know what
it.
the most amazing thing was? When he put the bowl into the hot soapy water with the dishwasher tablet, and there was no residue of that mirror spray anywhere. Not in the bottom of the sink, not on the glass. It was absolutely
It dissolves
phenomenal.
it. It's crazy.
It's amazing. And you'd expect like a residue, wouldn't you, at the bottom of your sink? Nothing. It's amazing.
It's
so
cool.
if you do have an heirloom, like I have my grandma's trifle trifle dish.
Well, that's kind of what I was using, yeah.
But I wanted to use it for Christmas, for the Christmas table. I then did that and then just stripped it back again. It's a brilliant product, that. Don't miss out on that, especially while there's not £10. There's £10 off it.
£10 off it?
150ml can.
Third
UK only. Shop mirror, $19.99. I mean, it's so cool.
It's amazing. When I can remember when I very first was introduced to Cadence, and it was, of course, the initial, oh my goodness, I know I'm working with something different now. This is a different league altogether. And seeing the instant effect, for one, is it never tires. It never fails to be satisfying. If you're going to work on tinted, coloured glass, cut glass, decorative glass, interiors, exteriors, you get a wonderful result. You can also repair old mirror as well, but you can do antiquing and aging effects with it, and we're going to do more on that as well. But nice to dedicate a show purely to all of those techniques too, because you could spritz it on and then put white vinegar over the top, and it will peel it off in areas. And of course, it creates that acid wash effect. You can also mix it ever so slightly with your paints as well, so spritz it onto a palette and then paint with it. There's loads of things you can do.
25% of it now is allocated in people's baskets. I don't know how long I genuinely don't know how long this price is going to stay on this, because it should be $29.99. So even if you've got a can in your cupboard, get another one while you're saving £10, because that is a cracking deal. And those look absolutely fabulous. I think those on a wedding table as mirrors. Yeah. So you can check your makeup and do that kind of thing with your name on it in vinyl. Would be absolutely fabulous.
It would, or even, of course, if you're going to mirror spray loads of them, get a photo frame and do like a mosaic of all the different ones in there as a nice piece on the wall. Save all the little bases for all sorts, for greeting cards, card stands, all that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
There's tons you can do with them.
Right, my lovely. What are you doing now?
I'm going in this stencil. Love this design.
I do too.
It's really nice. Now,
it's my favourite.
I want to do some gilding, but what we're going to do is I'm not going to add stencil spray to the back of my stencil because I'll create some static on my cardstock. So what I did was I stencil sprayed it and then washed my stencil, okay, which took a lot of the tack off. So it's not super tacky anymore, okay, but it's very, very minutely tacky.
Okay.
So what that meant is, when I take my stencil spray away, it's not creating that static, that friction, which means I could get some foiling grabbing where I don't want it to be. So a little top tip for you, because we don't want our metal leaf mixing to bleed underneath our stencil, so we still pop it in place using that glue, and this glue is fabulous not only for, of course, your metal leaf, but if you're going to do some freehand painting, or you're going to blend through here and then put embossing powders on, it grabs your embossing powder as well. So there's loads of different techniques. It's not just for foil. It's completely transparent when it's dry, but it's got almost like a milky haze to it before it has dried. So if you're going onto darker surfaces, you'll see it. I'm going on some watercolour card here, and I'm just going to blend through, okay, not 100% evenly. I'm just doing some nice quick blends. I don't want the stencil to be like perfectly covered. So we're going to pick out some areas with it like this, go around here. And again, I'm using probably the whole portion, which is a pea-sized amount I put out, but spread it incredibly thinly. Now, if you do lots of texture and leave lots of indentations with it, that will be reflected through your foiling, so expect to see that. Also, if you're going to do big brush strokes and you've got bristle marks, you'll see those through your foiling. So doing a nice blend like this gets rid of all of that. Okay. Then we take our stencil away, and you can see ever so slightly where it is. So, like a ghost image.
It is.
So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that dry, and that there would dry within around about 5 to 10 minutes. It's like when you retack your scan and cut mat, of course you let it go tacky. It's still a bit wet at the moment. So I'm going to take this away from my project, all right, let that dry, and then I'm going to bring in the one that I did earlier, okay? Sorry?
It work with regular foil?
Yeah, it'll work with like your Craftmaster foils. Of course, it won't give you a full flashed finish, but if you do a thicker coat of it, it will give you a stronger result. Okay. So like your Craftmaster foils, or the brand new foils that we had on last week, which were your Intense and your Glow foils, would work really nicely with those.
What were those?
We have brand new rolls of foil in.
The little thin ones that I've got tomorrow from my scan and cut.
Oh, yes, those are the ones. Yeah. They also work with your heat transfer medium from Cadence as well.
Yeah, I got any of that.
It's amazing stuff. Right.
When's it coming back in stock?
About 5 weeks. I know. This is
why you've got to get it while we've got it, because it doesn't hang around forever, does it?
No. So I'm going now with my gold foil. Okay. I'm going to put some. I'm going to put some on top of our watercolor card here. There we go. I'm going to put this in my box in a few moments, though. I'm just going to tear this piece here, just down the centre, and lay this one. It's so nice to work with.
So much easier than working with bits of stuff.
Oh, absolutely. It's It is fab. So now I'm just going to pop this to one side. I'm just going to put this on here to keep it weighed down. Grab our box, which of course is going to get rid of any static. So we're going to sit this down inside the base of the box. Always have a foiling box. It's great to work with. Great advice from Mel, actually, when I was working with this process. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my floppy brushes. Okay, so we've applied our glue with our stencil brush, and I'm going in with my floppy brush, and this is just going to burnish it all down. Okay, so I'm adhering it all to the inside now. Okay, so that's the result you're starting to find, and as you're burnishing through, these areas will start to elevate. Okay, so you'll get bits brushing away. With that drying process of a few minutes time, it means that this here stays nice and clean and fluffy with no adhesive. The second this starts to get glue on it, you're going to want to thoroughly wash it in some hot water and let it naturally dry on its own accord. Now we've got here, I'm then just going to take a coarse brush from my stash as well, start to work into here. I think I've got a bit of ink in there, but it's fine. Look at this. We're now starting to burnish off.
And you can see working in that cardboard box with kitchen roll in the bottom isn't creating any static whatsoever with that. It's not flying all over the room, so you're saving back what you're not using, which is really important. It will literally just sit on that kitchen roll.
Absolutely.
It's super cool. Put that in a plastic box, you've noticed.
Look at this.
Oh, I love that.
Look at that design.
Wow.
Okay, so keep dusting in with your brush, get any of those little bits off. Now with this one here, I'm going to start to push that down. See how I can see the print coming through?
Yeah.
Okay, fold and lap any elements over that may have just not slightly grabbed. There we are. And start to brush any excess off, and you can start to see how it just comes away. Any areas like this, just start to tear them off. Now all these excess bits that you have inside here, so you see all of these bits in there, cello bag it. And just keep it in a little pot. Cello bag it all together. And then I'm just going to work in here and start to get all this up. I'm going to put it on a flat surface, so I'm not letting it float everywhere.
Isn't it, to do it flat?
And look at,
Look
at this. I reckon so. Look at this though. So what we're going to do with this is then we can go in with our ink sprays and do resists around it, which is really nice. Look at this, okay? I find it so therapeutic to work with. Now, because I've burnished this down, I've got like a wonderful platinum finish as well, which is just gorgeous because it's taken on the texture of the watercolour card. So let's just blend this off. So I've got it in my two corners there. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Now, you could do, thank you, Mel, you could do little texture tiles. So what I'm going to do...
Texture tiles.
Texture tiles is I'm going to crop this area here off, okay, to about there, and then take that off. So now I've got this wonderful little foiled plaque, okay.
It's a bit like a giraffe.
It is, isn't it? Just a little bit like a giraffe.
Yeah.
I love the print though. I think it's really nice.
I like it too.
So let's experiment with some different techniques. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my palette here, okay, and I'm going to pick out some colours. Let's have a look. And then we're going to spritz some water onto our watercolour card. Then we're going to go in, and of course it's going to start to adhere to the watercolour in the background. But we can go over the top of our foils.
I like those brushes. They're really good, aren't they, at blending?
Yeah. I'm going in with my ink for this. I'm okay to go in with ink because I can wash it out. You just don't want to use glue with them.
I like those for blending.
Look at that.
Pinks.
So
yeah,
soft.
Fab,
so don't just keep an applicator for one surface. You can use it, and this will wash out thoroughly fine. It will be okay. It will not affect the use.
Oh, that's lovely.
Look at that. Now, I'm going to spritz this onto the top here and just blot it a little bit. Okay. Take any areas off the top of my foil to bring that back out. But let's go in with some deeper colours. Let's go into actually the surface itself because we've built up a bit of texture there. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, let's do it.
There we are. Hope you like the colour purple, Becky.
Love it.
And then
there somewhere.
Look at that
shop
now.
backgrounds, we only have 3 left.
Oh my goodness.
So if you want these stencils that David's using right now, all 6 of them, it's shop background and it's $19.99 for all 6. This is the one that David's using right now. Love
Isn't
that.
It gorgeous?
I love
all
it.
that selection inside there as
I know,
well.
it's
There's
fab.
loads.
Absolutely fabulous. Shop background, there's 3 left. So fastest fingers first is going to get that. Shop background, $19.99.
Right, okay.
I like that.
I like this as well because what I've done there...
That's gone into a really posh pair of boots, that.
It has.
Hasn't it?
And what I'm actually happy with, and I'm going to leave it there, is the colour that's sat on top of the foil is giving me now a rose gold tint to it.
Lovely.
So imagine that as a card now with a sentiment on the front. Again, our other one here, we can still build up texture on here. So inside here with our ink sprays, popping different colours together, creating different blends. Put some water over the top of here. I'm just going to turn that around so I know my nozzle's in the water. There we go. Look at how it all mixes now on the top of that wonderful gilding flake.
That's amazing.
Go in and start to blot in the areas.
And even that, if you blot it off with another piece of your watercolour card, you can use all that, can't you?
Of course you can, absolutely, don't waste it. There's loads, but look at how now when I spritz it, that ink spray is running out on me, isn't it?
Yes.
It's going to get
Want to go and
launched.
fill it up for you?
I don't even know if it's is that it's empty. I don't know what's wrong with it. It'll be fine. Why is it working now?
Because it's me.
Spritz me.
Welcome back.
There we go. Oh my gosh, I'm dripping. Right, okay, so there we go. We've got this wonderful inky background along with our flakes. But look at that. On the top of it, creating that fabulous resist. It is beautiful. But again, please remember, those stencils are fundamental and key, especially when you're building up your designs. If you wanted to go in with some black card as well, let's have a look here at those fabulous tones that we also have. So what I'm going to do is bring back, let's snip this down so it's a little bit smaller. I've gone in with that Mixion on top of that wonderful deeper card. Just gone on with some black card for this one. Let's grab our foiling box. Oh, Mel, have you got the foiling box, lovey? What I've done with it.
There you go. Thank you
Cheers,
to everybody
my
for your comments this
Oh,
morning.
yeah, keep us
They're
company.
enjoying it. They're enjoying the demos.
Oh,
See why
lovely.
you're the Cadence guru. Terry's going off to check out. Well done, Terry.
Nice one, Terry.
Yeah, good idea, that kid.
I reckon so. No, it's wonderful to do a show that's a little bit different, actually.
Yeah.
Where we're sort of just utilising, and this, of course, is a Makeover Monday roundup for you. So we wanted to share with you all of our most recent launches from, of course, our Cadence. And I'm going to get some of that Harmony paint out in a minute as well, so you can see some of that in play.
Lovely.
But it's nice for you to really just experience some techniques to discover with the paints. So I'm going to lay those on, and then what I'm going to do is grab some gold and lay the gold over the top of the black. Okay, so I'm layering up my foils for this. I probably don't need any more. I'm going to grab a different colour actually just to cover that corner. There we are, like that. And then go over the top into all of that wonderful foil. Look at that. That block coverage on there is crazy. Let's just quickly burnish this down. There we go. And it comes off so crisp around the edges as well, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
It makes the project look so, so perfect. Look at that there, where we've got that wonderful detail just coming in with that foil. So I'm just going to scratch the rest of it off with this brush. It's like magic as you start to reveal it. It's so
It is, isn't
exciting.
it?
Yeah,
I love it. It's like a brass rubbing.
it is. That's very true. So what I'm going to do is go all the way around, capture it in all those little details, all those different areas. And I use this as really as block coverage with those foils, and I'm really happy with that result. It looks fab. Then what we do is we, of course, dust it down with our floppies. There we are. So we take our brush, dust it down, and then you've got glorious.
And that's
glorious.
just amazing. You die cut that. It's going to look phenomenal, isn't it?
It's absolutely stunning.
I love it.
crazy. This foil is incredible, and that colour there, I mean, that colour is intense.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
It's amazing. It's so striking. Shall we have a look at some of our Harmony paints?
Yes, please.
Okay, so you can go into a whole host of surfaces still with your Harmonies, and I've got a lovely pair here to show you. So what I'm going to do is go with my apples and my pears.
Good for you.
Absolutely, indeed.
Shop fruit, if you want these. These are fabulous. So
I
they're
love them.
concrete, aren't they?
They are concrete, and they've
They
got a
are
metal
heavy.
rod through them.
Yeah, they do have a metal rod through them, but as a doorstop, I think these will look fabulous.
Oh, yeah, they will.
Won't they?
They'll look great.
Or
Doorstop.
just as an ornament.
Yeah.
I have stuff like this all over the place.
I'd have a bundle of them. Imagine them on a fireplace, all the different
Yeah.
colours. They'd look
Yeah.
great. And as well, I think it's quite interesting the fact that you're going to paint them in not necessarily the colour that an apple or pear would be.
No.
Just paint them whatever colours you want to play with. Put my scissors down somewhere. Can you see them from... Oh, they're there. There we go. Can you see them? They're down there.
Can I see them?
Can you not see through the table, Mel?
No, that's not something I developed.
Right. So, let's pop some of our paint out. Now, these wonderful Harmony colours, just look at the palette that you've got here. It is exquisite.
So these
okay?
aren't hybrid.
No. These ones here are a flat coat coverage,
Right.
multi-surface for all paintable surfaces, so we're talking paper, card, still things like tile and concrete and, you know, plastics as well, but they're not waterproof,
Right.
okay? So with these ones, completely different composition, beautiful brand new colourways, But yes, different in application, or should I say different in overall finish. But you can, of course, go in top of here with your aquastone or your matte varnishes. It's just bringing to you a different colour range of paints, of course, in a different formula as well. You still get incredible consistency with them, and you'll see that. I'll just pop some out here for you and show you. Let's go in. I love this colour, actually, this wonderful purple, this mauve.
It's very pretty, isn't it?
It is. So let's pop some here out onto our mat, and you can still see the consistency of these is great. Now, if you're ever working with an acrylic paint, and you hold it to the side like this and you instantly get a trickle down of acrylic or it's separated, you know you're not working with a high quality paint, okay? You'll see the difference instantly. Also as well, if you're working onto a porous surface like this, if your acrylic thins on the surface and you can still see the colour through it, you know again you're working with a porous acrylic. So let's, of course, go straight onto something like concrete with these. Yeah. So you can see the paint there. It's not incredibly thin. It's still got nice consistency to it. But look, as you stipple with it, you're still getting full coverage all over this concrete. And I've not gone back to the palette yet. I'm still using that one dip. Look at that. You're still getting full coverage onto concrete with these. And it's all wonderful pastel tones. And it's true pastel as well to give you a really nice vintage effect. So you can still mix these again with your Cadence pouring medium, so you can do acrylic pours with it as well.
I was thinking that earlier, it'd be a nice paint to pour with, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, indeed. It is just an exquisite medium, but I love the finish. Okay, so if I just quickly dry this at the state that we're at the moment before I finish the whole ornament, I'm going to go in with the hairdryer so you can see the actual finish of the paint. So it dries really quickly as well, super fast drying time on this paint. But it's a semi-matte, okay, so it's not an eggshell, it's not a satin, and it's not a gloss. And it doesn't have a sheen, but it's semi-matte. Right. Which is quite interesting. It almost feels a little bit like our pure print.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah,
that's how it feels.
Yeah.
Look at this. So it almost has...
Wow, that's incredible coverage on a pale colour.
Yes.
On concrete.
Literally.
In one coat.
In one coat.
That's amazing.
It is astounding. I love this paint. The quality again, it is just, it's Cadence all over. Of course it is. Let's have another colour and get some of this out as we start to do some blends.
So if you want these, they are chock pastel. It's $39.99. You're going to get 10 59ml bottles. So almost 600ml in total across all these brand new colours. So these aren't colours that Cadence have done before in different formulas. That's right, isn't it?
So you'll be able to find a certain colour ranges called this, but this is a different tone. It's pastel.
This is a different, yeah. Okay, perfect. So you've got your pastel green, your light green, your pastel pink, your baby pink, your light lilac, your vanilla yellow. You've then got your baby blue in there. You've got, I love this one, your light pinkish orange. It'll always make me smile. I couldn't think of a name. Sunflower. And then also your mauve, which is the one that David's just used. All comes in this lovely little box. Excellent quality, as you would expect. Chock pastel, $3.99 a bottle before your club discount. That's crazy value for money. Chock pastel, $39.99.
Now, something I'm going to show you is the ease of blend with these paints. Now, of course, I mentioned to you at the start of the show that, of course, when you're using a hybrid, it grips and grabs into that station where you've placed it instantly and can be a little bit harder to travel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the baby pink here, and I'm going to start to add the paint to our concrete apple here, okay? And again, even with a really light tone, we're still getting full block coverage, so do not expect any less of quality with this paint at all. It is wonderful. So I'm going all the way around the edge, and I'm almost going right up to where, of course, that purple meets this baby pink, and we'll go toward the top section afterwards. I just want to show you what happens here. Okay. So going right up to the edge now, and what we're going to do is use our purple sponge, which has hardly any paint on, turn it around, so we're going to drag the pink into the purple. Okay, so we're going back over that area, and we're going to create a really fine buffer between the two, which essentially is a blend. So we work into it like this. We go over the top of the pink area. So we're now carrying that colour into the pink paint itself. And then we go back in with our pink over the top of the purple. Okay, and then we use our purple over the top of the blend and keep working in with those two colours. Okay, you can now see how they're starting to travel and just mix with one another. It makes it incredibly easy to blend your colours, which for me was always something I initially struggled with.
Yeah.
And it comes with practice, it really, really does.
And it's the lightest touch, isn't it?
It really is.
So gentle and repetitive.
Yep, absolutely.
So you're happy with what you've got?
Of course, always. So working in with that paint, you can see I've got a bit more coverage there, so I want to then push that back with my purple now and mix them into one another. The paint's still open at the moment because I'm continuing to work into it, but look at how that's coming round so easily. Look at that. Wow. It's almost like a highlight on the surface. It looks completely different. It's almost like it's illuminated. It's really, really fascinating to see in person. So I'm working onto the top there of the colour, going back with a little bit of the pink now, just over the top.
They are stunning colours, aren't they? They're very, very, very pretty.
They are.
Very delicate. And
it allows you to really sort of craft at your own pace as well with a paint like this.
yeah, because you said it stays open longer, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you can thin it down, so don't worry. You can, even where I've got a bit of the pink there, I'm going to start to now working with the purple. And look at how it's allowed me just to then control it and bring it back, okay? Do a little circular blends as well, just to buff that up a little bit. You could, of course, aquastone this. You could go on the top of it with your ink sprays as well. You could mix those in with it too. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. But to create a really quick and easy blend, it is that easy to do.
That's incredible, isn't it? Especially directly onto concrete. No gesso, no primer, no varnish, no nothing. Just straight on.
Absolutely.
With a paint that isn't a hybrid paint.
Yeah, I know.
That's incredible, isn't it?
It really, really is. You can see I'm just continuing to build up the colour here.
Yeah, just working that colour.
And dry it off every now and again, going. If you focus on that section there where you've got that really nice blend, notice how I turn it round in the light, the pink becomes really, really strong.
Yeah, it does.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, really clever.
I love it to bits.
I love that. And on that fruit looks completely different now, doesn't it?
It does.
Doesn't
and
it?
again, I love the finish that you get with it. You can go in with your glazes as well if you wanted to. With, of course, your paints. If you put some of your paint out, there's nothing stopping you from then going in with a little bit of your ink spray. So let's grab like a dark blue. Okay, and of course you can then make your own colours with it. So we're then going to go in and mix it with a brush, bring some of that ink spray into here, and then you're going to start to pigment your paints as well. So now we've made another pastel tone. Look at that.
That's amazing.
We've gone, of course,
those ink
from
sprays
that.
are brilliant, aren't they?
We've gone from this to this now. We've now got another mark of duck egg blue on here. It is gorgeous. I absolutely love it. And of course, it will still apply beautifully. I'm going to use a sponge to put it on. So I'm just going to grab one of my square sponges here, pick up some of that, and it will still go on beautifully, even though we've made our own colours with our own inks.
That's super pretty. I love that blue now. It's like a cornflower blue, isn't it?
It
Very
is.
pretty.
But look at how it's now starting to mix with the purple.
Yeah.
So we can push it over. As this sponge dries out, it's continuing to dry, which is giving the most minute amount of paint, but it's still travelling over into the other sections. Look at that.
Incredible.
It's so, so soft. It's really forgiving to work with. If you are the first time, or maybe it's the first time you're using Cadence, but you wanted to sort of ease yourself in and you thought, well, there's loads of techniques. I keep hearing loads of different finishes. Start with something simple.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to get used to the flow of paint. Maybe it's inks that you prominently work with, but you want to delve into maybe more textures or maybe different surfaces. This is a great way to do it.
That is fabulous.
It's absolutely lovely.
Right, Shop Pastel is going to get you all 10 colours for $39.99, which is amazing. Shall we pick a winner, Soph?
Yeah.
Oh, let's do it.
Let's do it. You're going to spin?
Oh, yeah, can I spin?
Yeah, you can spin.
I'll come and shimmy through.
Shimmy me through.
Shimmy me through. Shimmy me through. There we go. Oh, Stephanie said it needs tightening up, I think.
Oh, does it?
There is Tracy Goucher.
Tracy? Goucher.
Tracy Goucher. Congratulations, Tracy.
Congratulations. Yes,
Shall we see what we...
Tracy.
Sorry, I was in a different world then.
Yes. Did something go into life there? It's like somebody just switched your batteries on.
Congratulations, Tracy. Thank you for
well
joining us
done.
for the show as well. I think it's been overtime, this. Oh, dear.
You
You
were
come back
messing around
after a
with
week, Mel, honestly, and it's all just gone to
It's all
pot.
falling apart. It took me out. Frisbee at the beach.
That was like a chop saw. Right, we're going to go... Oh, my gosh. Let's go again, shall we?
Let's spin again.
There we are.
go.
What have we won? Look into the wheel. Don't look around the wheel.
Look at you.
What have we got?
What
Oh,
number?
number 3.
Number 3, 250 points.
Congratulations.
Yes, well done, Tracy.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us. You know what? It's been a wonderful 2 hours as well to be able to spend with you, doing glass paints, ink sprays too in
I know.
backgrounds, turning them into glass glazes, going through onto different surfaces, and then exploring as well with our waxes, with our gilding flakes, mixing it all together, and ultimately having fun with brand new products.
Which is your favourite? I know.
Really? Really? I'm going to say at the moment, for me, standing out is my ink sprays with my new Harmonies.
Nice, aren't they?
These colours are just the beautiful pastel tones. I mean, think about getting some really cheap and expensive candle holders, just having in the middle of your dining table with all your brand new colours. It is
lovely, aren't they?
beautiful. But if I'm going to say anything, mirror spray with a third off.
I know, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Shop Mirror is going to get you 150ml aerosol can, which is just phenomenal. I mean, if you watch David do one of those little square glass things before, it blows my mind. How on earth does that work?
I don't know. Do you know?
No.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
It is literally
still
that
searching for a
magic.
clue.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to know.
I know.
No, secret formulas.
No, there you go.
But it is fabulous the way that it works. But it instantly reflects all the light and everything through the glass. Always make sure you're working with it on the back of the glass.
Yeah.
Because, of course, that's where it reflects the image through.
And Shop Mirror will get you that today for $19.99. I don't know how long that price is going to last.
No, I don't either. I'm going to say it probably may not be for the rest of this week.
And then can we just see this lamp base again? Because this blows my mind how we've managed to get these ink sprays to look like that.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Just phenomenal, isn't it?
It is. Now, what this is it's a piece of porcelain. Okay, it's pot. And it was unglazed, so it was porous. But I spritzed my inks all over it. And then started to spritz water in, and I watched it travel. Okay, and as I spritzed into it further, the ink bled. A little bit like when you used to work with like your brushos, and you watch it explode with water. It allows you to do that in a very easy way. So, of course, then going over the top with the aquastone, in some areas reactivated the ink, which made a colorized glaze.
Yep.
It was so fun to work with. Of course, you can watch the shows back from last week where we launched our sprays as well, where you saw me doing this very technique. But again, it is incredible, and you can use it on so many different finishes. It's great to intermix with your gessos, your pigmented paints, the lot.
Fantastic.
It's fab.
Thank you, team. Thank you to Sophie for producing. Becky came in for the second hour for cameras. Thank you to Becky, and thank you to David.
Oh, thank you,
course.
Mel.
Who's coming up next?
Next, I think it is it Amanda?
Don't know. Might be. Stay tuned, and you'll find out. We'll see you. I'll see you tomorrow. You're back at 6.
I think so. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
Bye.